Yo, what up, what up, what up? Yes, sir. JB the Cowboy fan. Yes, sir. What's happening? What's happening? I see my boy Derek Burnett already got a comment up in there. Yes, sir. Let me see what you're talking about. Well, what if a few more people get up in here right now, I know it's a Sunday, but you know what I'm saying? I want to get through all the talk, the opinions, and that everybody was thinking about the draft. So you know what I'm saying? I know it's a Sunday, about almost 10 o'clock, but let's get in some of this Cowboy draft talk for this 2025 season. Yeah, let's do that. Well, my Pacers playing Milwaukee. Yeah. Early in this game just started. 7-2. Yeah, we need to go ahead and finish Milwaukee. Yes, sir. But the NBA playoffs, Lakers lost. LeBron now, they down 3-1. Yeah. They down 3-1 to Minnesota and shit. But yeah, man, this drive, man. Right off the rip, man. Right off the rip. I'm going to get this drive a C, man. I'm going to get this drive a C. I mean, I want a D tackle with the first pick in the, you know what I'm saying, that number 12. I was looking at trenches. I was pro trenches, and after all the draft is said and done, looking at it, we went trenches, O line specifically, D tackles, so at the end of the draft, and 2 running backs. But shit, my thing was we should have went D tackle at 12, and if we went O line, cool. I think that pick we got in the first round, with the O lineman from Alabama, Tyler Booker. A lot of people saying he was like, a late first round, early second round pick. So I looked at it like D tackle first, O line, then we could have went running back. I don't understand why we went and got a cornerback he already done been injured. He had an ACL, then so we got Carson, Butler, and Diggs coming off injuries. All on what, ACLs and knee injuries? Derek Burnett, this drive goes for naught because Dak is still the quarterback. Tired of this guy wasting people's careers. Oh, but they really mad at the fact that we ain't draft no wide receivers for Dak. They really mad about that. But I ain't really so this tell you where Brian Schottenheimer is about this offense. And what he think what is important, and to him is having an offensive line that's gonna maul people for the run game. The real Dak fanboys whine about not getting weapons for Dak and focus on lines instead. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about why I give this drive a C, damn near bordering on a D minus, because to me it wasn't too much about the players that they selected, it was about when they selected them. And to me, they waited till the 7th round to get D tackle. In the 3rd round, they get the corner. They get second round. They get an edge player that's lighting the ass. But we already got edge players. That's when since they went offensive line first, they should have went D tackle second, but they went edge. We got so many edge players. I don't understand. To me, so that was a waste of pick on that one. But then they turn around and get a cornerback that has had surgery already. Man, come on, man. That shit really don't make no sense to me right there. Then we get the linebacker from Florida. They traded up to get him. But he lighting the ass. And sometimes he's not where he's supposed to be. Like, man, this drive is, I ain't too much, I ain't feeling this drive. Born and raised in Texas. What's happening, man? What's going on? This was a solid drive for the Cowboys. You think, man? I know they hit key positions as far as D tackle, but they got them late. They got 2 offensive linemen. I'm feeling that. They got 2 running backs. But to me, is who and where they took them. That's what's getting me. It's who and when they took them players. Gerard, what's happening, Gerard? What's going on, man? Yeah, we're here on a Sunday night, man. I wanted to wait till all this, plus I had a little family thing going on with my mom, so I ain't been on this, I ain't been live or made no video since last week, but let's get into this, though. Gerard, we should have moved up in the 5th to draft Shedeur Sanders. Man, they don't want to challenge that. They don't want him to have no competition. No, that's the problem. They don't want him to have no competition, man. I would have preferred a defensive tackle in the 3rd round. Yeah, at least, okay, so they went offensive line 1st round. They went edge in 2nd round. They should have went D tackle. Because to me, the glaring need is D tackle. On defense, they should right tackle, right guard. On offense, but preferably left guard, right guard, and center. That's the middle. That's the strength of your offensive line right there in the middle. So to me, I think that offensive lineman from Oregon, he's going to be pretty good. We already know everybody consensus is that Tyler Booker is the man. You know what I'm saying? So, my thing with the draft, like I said, is who and when they took the players. You know what I'm saying? But they did get with them trenches. I didn't see them get no wide receiver. I didn't see a wide receiver. And it held truth. You know what I'm saying? It held truth that we didn't get no wide receiver because Schottenheimer's focused on the run game. To me, by seeing the way he drafted, the way the Cowboys drafted, man, they finna try to have a dominant run game. A dominant run game. That's what they're trying to achieve. That's what I see. And to me, which is sad, they taking the ball out of Dak's hands. But shit, if you're going to pay this dude that much money, why are you taking the responsibility from me? That don't make sense. That don't make sense to me. Gerard, my bad, I read that one. Official famous music. The trenches, JB. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We addressed them trenches. Even though I wanted to D tackle at least the second round, no later than the third, but we got two of them. And the one from UCLA, yeah, I think he gonna be home. Let me go up in here. Let me see something. Let me see if I can bring up these guys' names because I don't want to butcher their names and shit and what they doing. Yeah, so we got Tyler Booker. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Who was that? These two D tackles down. Jay Toya from UCLA, and then we got Tommy Akeem Basota from Maryland. So we addressed them needs at D tackle. We addressed the needs on offensive line too. Johnny Cornelius. I just didn't see the purpose of getting the edge in the second round. Well, like, why we go edge in the second round? We got plenty of edge rushers. That should have been a top-notch D tackle because our problem is stopping the fucking run, man. That's our problem right there, stopping the run. Shit. Born and raised in Texas. We don't need Sanders. We had Joe Milton. I think Sanders way better than Joe Milton. Joe Milton is not a threat for Dak. Shedeur would have been a threat for Dak. That would drafting Shedeur would have put some fire behind Dak Prescott. Shit. All of it would have been talk. You talking about some talk that have been going on in the Cowboys Nation? Y'all think Jerry would be the one talking? Man, just the presence of Shedeur Sanders. And you know his dad, Deion Sanders, gonna be there when he can, bro. You talking about pressure for Dak Prescott? They didn't want that. That's why they got rid of Cooper Rush. Shit, they don't want to put no pressure behind Dak Prescott. Gerard, I like the first two picks. Yeah, I like the edge pick, but I wish it was D tackle, man. I wish it was D tackle with our first two picks. O-line and I mean they went O-line to D-line the trenches, but I want a D tackle. I'm gonna stay on that shit, bro, because we gotta stop the run, man. We gotta stop the run. Drew 912, what it do? What it do? The need for the Cowboys is the line and the quarterback. Remember, they don't need a receiver because that makes every receiver better. And your boy keeps saying, this is twice I done heard him say this. And y'all know who I'm talking about by now. Y'all got to know who I'm talking about. This dude has said twice that Dak Prescott has made Amari Cooper. He done said this shit 2 times already, man. Like, come on. And that's my thing. If Dak is top 5 elite, second team All-Pro, second runner-up to MVP, he can make Mingo. He can make Tolbert. He can make Brooks. He can make Flournoy. You see what I'm saying? If he all that, he can make those guys. That's what they claim. Shit. Gerard, Mahomes just won a Super Bowl a couple years ago with the worst receivers in the NFL. Let's see Dak do it. No, he's not, because they're crying because he didn't get no receivers. Mahomes won back-to-back Super Bowls with Travis Kelce. Drew 912. They aren't going to have competition with that because that can't pressure. Nope. Yeah. And that's why they didn't draft Shedeur. Because that was going to be a mountain of pressure for Dak Prescott. A mountain of pressure. You kidding me? This guy folds like a lawn chair under pressure. Are you kidding me? Let me turn the game off. I don't hear you. That's too much noise for me. That's too much noise for me. Hold up. Let me get this straight. But yeah, man, that guy can't handle the pressure. You kidding me? Drew, they aren't. My bad. I read them. My bad. Official famous music. Training camp with Shador on them accuracy drills. Because you know they hype Dak up doing training camp and shit. They hype his ass up. Oh, he dropping dimes. I know what you're talking about. And I told him yesterday, Cooper was a bowler. Cooper before into the Yeah, Drew, you know what I'm talking about. He said that shit twice. Come on, man. You can't be trying to diss Amari Cooper to try to lift up Dak. Are you kidding me? Yeah, he said that same thing about Michael Gallup, too. Dak made Michael Gallup. Are you kidding me? This Shavon Ravel Jr., the cornerback from East Carolina. That should have been a D tackle pick. This guy coming in having surgery. He had surgery in 2023, ACL. That's gonna be our fourth quarterback coming off injury. Well, he been a year removed, but still, bro. Why we ain't draft no healthy cornerback? Just because this guy got speed? I get it, but shit, can he stay healthy? That's the thing. Jadon Blue, the running back we drafted. I mean, he's more of a third down back. You know what I'm saying? He more of a third down back. He good in receiving. He got speed. That's like Tony Pollard we had. I'm hearing a lot of comparison for him with Tony Pollard, but he might be a little bit faster. I like Tony Pollard, man. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that one right there. Yeah. Who we got? Sports Junkie. What up, bro? Man, you be coming through saying the same thing. What I'm talking about? Them trenches. How you feel about your coach drafting the wide receiver, Sports Junkie? Huh? Dak endorsed Schottenheimer. Yeah. He in the wide receiver draft. See what you saying? They believe in the receivers they got. And it is. Yes, sir. Hold on. Do I need hold on. Let me see. I can put the let me see. Let me put this on. Let me put this in the link. That's the link. Gerard, another D.R. Cooper special with the ACL. Yeah. Yep. What up, Derek? Jay Blue remind me of Jamal Charles. Man, he's a lot better than Tony Pollard. Okay. I know he got a lot more speed. I know they said he faster than the motherfucker. He's a good receiver out the backfield. So we're gonna see what's up with that. Blue was smaller than Pollard. He looked a little bit smaller than Pollard. There, JB, don't call him that. Just call him trash guy. We gotta respect the child. Stat pad trash guy. That what it is. Stat pad trash guy. The real fan. What up, bro? It may said he didn't want Matthew Golden because he's too short. Yet he whined about getting on guard Tyler Booker. Then whine about not getting Golden. My man. All right, this guy had too many drops. They said they gotta be dropping the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they all right, my bad. Hold on, I'm gonna bring on DB up on him. Hold up. Let me get you
What's
up
up,
there,
man?
DB. What up, Derek?
Man, just trying to enjoy the weekend.
What's going on with you, bro?
Just trying to enjoy the weekend. That's all. Can't ask for
What's up?
more than that.
Would you get a grade for the draft?
Well, if they want to run the ball, which I think is what
Can
they're
you hear
trying to
me?
do, I have to give them. Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay. I'm good now. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I was saying if the objective was to run the football, then
Yeah, I can hear you though. Go ahead.
yeah, if the objective was to try to run the football, then they accomplished that because I think Jaden Blue kind of reminds me of Jamal Charles in terms of his style. And he's going to give you a little bit more than what Tony Pollard was able to give us. But it all comes down to the commitment of that. And I mean, like you said, they could have probably got a better defensive tackle at one, but it comes down to what your priorities are, man. And I just think that they figure, our offense is the strong suit, and you're better off trying to add on to your strength and trying to address weaknesses. Because let's be honest, our defense has got a lot of problems. So
Yeah,
they're
they
just
do.
trying. And when you look at what the Giants have on the defensive line, the Eagles, the Commanders, they're like, well, you gotta protect the guy that ripped them off, Dak Prescott. So you got to fix the middle. So that's what they did. I mean, and let's be honest, man, they couldn't trade down because we've heard the stories about Steven not taking calls or being disrespectful, and other teams are tired of it. So you saw we had to trade for Mingo. I mean, everyone's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's the Jones being stupid." But I just think it's because teams figure, you're gonna have to pay more for your arrogance, and that's where they're at. So they couldn't do the things that a team like the Ravens are able to do. Move up and down.
Yeah. And the Niners did in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
So,
Right.
so
Yeah.
there's consequences for that behavior. So that's kind of where I mean I give it a B because of who they are. I mean, if this was another team, if like the Ravens did something stupid like this, I'm going to use them because they've done a great job in terms of
Mhm.
drafts over the years.
Yeah.
Then you'd have to give them a D. But because of who the Cowboys are, and compared to the last two drafts they had, this was a really solid draft. I mean, they've basically, if it looks like they could hit on all of them because these are all really good players. It's just a question of like every
But
draft.
you know what, Derek? I don't want to cut you off, man, but
No, go ahead.
my only complaint about our draft is when we took certain players.
Oh
But
yeah,
I feel the
absolutely.
overall draft and what they were doing, what their mindset was, far as I see Schottenheimer really, I guess he really going, since he's the head coach, I really think he's going to prioritize the run game. I see
Yep.
that, the way they draft. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And, a lot of Dak fanboy slurpees, they say Dak is good in play action pass. So with this offensive line in this run game, that's going to set him up for play action pass.
Yeah.
That's what I see. You know what I'm saying? So it
Kerry
ain't about the
Collins
weapons.
2.0, man. It's Kerry Collins 2.0 with a weaker
Yeah,
arm.
yeah.
Damn.
You're
Oh,
right. Exactly.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
man, that's what I see. But at the same time, since we got him, that's his strength. So we got to play to his strength
Yep.
as much as possible. But the overall strength to me is his mentality, and then that's
Yeah.
getting me with that. His mental is like, oh shit. He folds
Yeah.
when it matters, man. So to me,
Mhm.
we gotta have too much of a good team, man, that can't get injured for this guy to succeed, man. You know what I'm saying? I see the direction we going
Mhm.
as far as building that O line. We got the D end that's covered. My only thing is I don't know how these 2 7th round D tackles gonna pan out. Really, I know Foyer, I think his name. What is it? What is the guy's name we drafted from UCLA? I forgot that
But
quick.
him, you see, you know what's funny about him? I remember looking up stuff, and I said, "Man, this will be a great guy in the late rounds to draft." But I wouldn't count on him to be my number one guy. But
Yeah,
I'll be real with you, dude, because what we've seen of Mozzie, I think he's going to take Mozzie's job real quick. Because the knock on him, and it just comes down to how big is
yeah,
basic
I
physics,
think so
man.
too.
It's just physics, I mean, 6'3", 345 pounds. Who he's going to go horizontally with that size? So let's get real. So you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So you
Yeah,
can't
you're right
knock a
about
man
that.
for physics. So I
Nah,
mean, yeah, but you see what he did in UCLA. He did an excellent job. And then the other guy, I can't remember who that guy's name is escaping me. But I'm just thinking, you put those guys in the middle, or even with Rodgers that they keep. Hopefully, they'll keep him around this time. I
yeah,
thought
they
that was
still got
dumb.
Rodgers. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was stupid when we let him go the first time. But I
yeah.
mean, you're not running against this team up the middle. Now,
Nope.
the question I have for the Cowboys is on the sides, like these edges we got. The guy from Boston, I know he can stop the run, but that's just one guy. I mean, Sam Williams, we don't know who he is. Nealon looked pretty good, but once again, we didn't see enough of him.
By setting the edge consistently.
Exactly. Because remember that Buffalo game? They killed us on the edge. Everyone keeps talking about how
Yep.
they gut us up the middle. No, it wasn't. Cooks was going on the edge all day. So,
I made a video about that too, Derek. Yep.
yep, yep.
Yep.
So, I mean,
Man,
that's
you
my
right.
question. That's my question on that. And then the corner they got, I didn't know he had an ACL tear because I was all excited. I was reading, I'm like, oh damn, ACL tear
Yep.
figures.
So
Because
why
that's what
we
we do,
always
man.
draft hurt players, man? Why do we do that?
Jerry like defective toys, man. He's that guy going to Dollar Tree and says, wait a minute, do you got the defective toy out? He said, oh yeah, it's in the back. Okay, let me get that. I mean, I was pissed because I remember seeing this kid and I'm like, damn, this kid's great. But then once again,
He
your
got
first team.
speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He got the
Got great coverage
intangibles.
skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden I read injury. I'm like, of course, that's why the Cowboys draft him. He had to be injured. That's it. And that just frustrates me because it's like it looks like a good pick until you find out additional information.
And then they picked him early. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? That's the
Yep.
thing. That
Well,
could
they
have been
couldn't
a
trade
deep
down.
tackle spots.
Yeah.
Right there.
I mean, I would have drafted honestly first pick probably with Derek Harmon, who went to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, sure
I
did.
know. I mean, I know that was high, but like I said, because of where the Cowboys are and the relationship with other teams in the league, probably had to pick him at 12, and that would have
Yeah.
been high. But he's a beast, and but I don't know, man. That's just what they do, man. They're Cowboys. That's what they do. They put themselves in that shoes, and they just can't get it right.
And don't know how to get it right.
Nope. Nope.
So that's why I'm the fan of I'm gonna wait to see. I'm not like jumping in, drinking the Kool-Aid on everything. I'm not gonna put these players we drafted up on a high level. I'm not gonna be making videos saying, "Oh yes, he's just." They already saying some of these players we drafted are steals, and I'm like, hold on now.
But the corner would have been a steal if he didn't have the ACL tear. I'll be
Right,
real with
if
you
he
on
didn't
that.
have the injury, but you know what, there he probably would have been gone before then, though. If he didn't have the injury,
That's my point. That's my point. If he didn't have the
he
tear, he would
would have
have
been
been gone.
gone.
Exactly. But because he
Man,
has the
please,
tear, yep.
yeah. But we the fools that'll
Mhm.
go ahead and draft him early anyway.
But
Like that don't make sense.
Right. But the one guy, like I said, running back, right away if they can play. That's the one position and this guy Blue, I mean, he's got great vision. Like I said, he's Jamal Charles 2.0, and I just don't
Okay.
know if the offensive line is going to let us do because let's be fair. Let's say Booker's good, right? So okay, you're good up the middle, but who's our left tackle? Who's our right tackle? I don't care what anyone says about Steele. Steele to me is so inconsistent. So I don't know what I'm getting from Steele, but I don't know at the same time. Guyton, from what everyone's saying, he don't like to do the work. So if we saw him his rookie year, let's be fair, man. His body is still, it's soft.
Developing. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still
So
growing.
you know,
But they say he's better at right tackle than Terrence Steele is, though, because he played more right tackle. They moved him to left, but why would they? If he's a
I don't
right
know
tackle, why they draft him and put him at left tackle? That
because
don't make no
because
damn sense.
because Jerry said so. That's all. You know why? Why are you pretending like you don't know? You know why they did it.
Yeah, you got a point right there, bro.
I
Shit.
mean, shoot. I mean, honestly, I would have put Austin Richards because when they drafted him, his problem was he was young and he didn't get his man body yet.
Yeah.
And when we
Okay.
saw him this year, the few times we saw him, and he did very well. So I would, stick with him because the reason they drafted him was because he's supposed to be like this, dancing bear type guy. But
Yeah.
he was
He's
20
supposed to
years
have those
old.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 20 years old, and when you're 20, you're not totally filled out yet. So and he looked like he did that, and going in this year. So I mean last year, sorry. So he to me should have been given him more of a shot, and you could have left Guyton at right tackle. But once again, you're overthinking it, So
Well, they got that tackle from Oregon, so we're gonna see how
yep,
they're gonna, maneuver this. And they done went and got
hmm
like the offensive guard from Miami was
yep,
he's definitely a backup.
yep.
Didn't they get another offensive lineman in the free agency? I can't remember if they did or not.
Yeah, they had that Nathan Jones guy from
Okay, yeah,
Louisiana
yeah, yeah.
State.
That's right. So
So they need to, like I said, Ball and what's the
yeah,
Walensco. Those
all of
guys are gone.
well, let's go.
They're gone.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah.
And
I think Deuce Vaughn gonna be gone now. We drafted 2 running backs.
yeah,
I think we're gonna let Deuce Vaughn go, bro.
Yeah, Deuce will be gone. Who else is the running back? I wouldn't be surprised if the back we grabbed from the Broncos will be gone.
Uh, Williams.
Yeah, Williams, because
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
no offense to him.
They might keep Miles though. Yeah,
Yeah,
you right about that. Yeah,
I mean he might be gone. So
I can see that.
and man, I would love. It won't happen, but I could dream, right? I would
Shit,
love to see Joe.
we could dream that Dak was gone, goddamn.
Yeah, I man had a great dream that Joe Milton, man, just all of a sudden just the lights came on because it's not a question of the physical tools, man. It's the other
Yeah,
stuff, and I just
yeah.
want him. I just want him to pull that off. I would love to hear that story, but where they have to start questioning. Well, did we put him in over Dak?
Uh-huh.
But they
Hey,
won't do that.
I don't. I'm not. Like I don't want to see Dak get injured because I really
No.
want him to be good.
Yeah.
But it's not looking like he's going to complete a full season no more, man. I think
No.
Milton might get an opportunity.
You know what's funny? The only thing I wanted out of Dak, honestly, like being realistic, like when he had that rookie year, and I was like, oh, that's now we're not making careless mistakes, with the decision making. We saw that, and because I was saying, what, if he patent his game, I'm talking about basically his physical ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a Rich Gannon when he was with the Raiders. Because let's be
Yeah,
honest, Rich Gannon didn't have an strong arm or whatever. But he
no,
was
he did.
efficient. But he had he studied
He had
and
the mindset.
correct. And then that one year when this is when I knew Dak was just a what he is. He's trash. Is when Broadus, man, I always remember he had this. They cut him off what he was saying. And so I was laughing at the fan when they had that where he's like, I just wish Dak would have studied some more tape. And I'm like, oh, wait, I hope he harps this up. And they're all like, no, stop. And I'm just like, I mean, it's true, man. I don't care about you throwing in your backyard. I mean, that's what you and I do as fans. No, who cares about
Exactly.
that? I mean, I want to see that. I want to hear that you sat down and watched tape with, I don't know, any of those gurus that Brady went with or Drew Brees. You're in Dallas. Maybe go with Aikman. I don't doubt Aikman has time for you for that. I mean, it's not waste Troy Aikman's time, but I mean, I even heard that, like, I read somewhere that they said Warren Moon offered to be a mentor to him, and he said
Oh yeah.
no because, oh yeah, he said no because he's worried about his reputation, Dak, because Warren Moon was going under some investigation, which was proved to be false. And I'm
Hey, but
saying,
then my bad there. But then
go ahead,
who was the quarterbacks coach we had? He played for Detroit. What was his name?
John Kitna.
Kidner said Dak
Yep.
reminded him of Warren Moon. Didn't he say that?
Yeah, he
So
did.
why would Dak hate on Moon then?
Because he's a jackass. That's why. You know why? I'm sorry, man.
Oh
Look,
shit.
listen. I'm in IT, right? I'm gonna tell you right now. If Bill
Okay.
Gates came up to me and says, "Hey, I want to mentor you," I don't have any questions, man. I just go and do it. You know what I mean? Or Larry Ellison of Oracle, whatever. That's the thing you got to understand, and that's what I don't understand with Dak. If Warren Moon comes up to you and says, "Hey, I want to mentor you, train you," listen. Warren Moon might just teach me how to peel an apple. I don't give a damn. It's Warren Moon, man. There's just certain things you just do, you
Right.
know, and you take advantage of that. And he didn't do that. I mean, that's why to me, the thing in this draft that people need to really realize, which is very important, Tom Brady was Shador's mentor, and he didn't draft him. I mean, that told me a lot about Shador.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Because I was like, they had 6 chances to draft him, and they did it. I'm like, that's not good.
Mm-mm.
That's really not good. So, you know, but we'll see.
Man, but I think Shador, he got a lot of upside, man. I
Mhm.
mean, what he did
He
in
can read a defense.
Colorado with no offensive line,
Yep.
no really true receivers, and he
Yep.
still put up those numbers.
Yep.
Like, come
Well, he can
on,
read a
man.
defense.
Give him the offensive line. They say, oh,
Hmm.
he had to play schoolyard, football because of the offensive his protection. He had no
Correct.
real true running game or true receivers on the outside except for Hunter.
Yep.
Like what he was able to do with that, come on, man. You know that he gotta have some talent. He gotta have some bravado. He gotta have the mental capacity to play the position. You know what
I
I'm
just,
saying?
yeah, and I totally agree with you on that. I just think the fact that I think Tom Brady was basically saying to this kid, you should be better than when you're at. Because the thing with him, they said, is like he knows how to read defense. He has a natural ability to read it. But
Mm-hmm.
then there's only so much natural ability takes you. Then you got to go to the next level and studying the film. Because I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. You look at Shador's mechanics. There's nothing to fix. So when he comes in the NFL, it's not like you got to fix his drop back, his throwing motion,
True.
nothing like that. His problem is when he tries to play hero ball. But and that's what happens when you're young. You think you're invincible, and that's fine. But he'll learn that quick in the NFL because when you get those hits, yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah.
So,
He gonna, he gonna start devising up a new plan on how to
right.
play that position. You right, yeah. True.
But I'm just saying, but for the league as a whole, when the Raiders was skipping them like that, I was like, whoa, there's something obviously not right. Now it's
Yeah.
not like Dak, where to me, here's a guy came in, mechanics are not good, he worked on it, and no one can say Dak hasn't worked hard on the physical part of the game. That's never been the question. The
True.
question is the mental part of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say he was not tough because I remember when he busted his leg, he tried to pop that back in. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, kid? That's but
But that's kind of physical too, though.
it
You know what I'm
is
saying?
right. But he
I
was. I'm just
mean,
saying. I'm just saying. I don't question his toughness. I just question his ability. I just question his desire to learn the other part of the game.
mm-hmm.
And quarterback, as we know, most of that's more mental than anything else. And when you
Facts.
don't have an arm like these other guys, you got to be smart. And that's why I
Yeah,
use
you
the
got to
Rich
make
Gannon
better
analogy.
decisions.
Right. That's
Yeah.
why I use the Rich Gannon analogy. I mean, Joe Montana, let's be honest, he wasn't gifted like physically. He just was better at processing than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, imagine he had Dan Marino's arm talent. Oh my God, that would have been illegal. So you know what I'm saying, with that quick release.
Marino
Oh
doesn't
God.
have. Well, shit, I can't say Marino didn't have it. Or maybe it's just in his case, just
No,
like Jim
no,
Kelly
just
with
no.
Buffalo. It
Right.
just didn't work out for him for some reason. But they
Well,
wasn't terrible quarterbacks. They had
oh
good
no.
teams.
No, I'm
It's
not saying
just they
Marino.
ran up against better teams at their times.
Mhm.
You know, yeah.
Well,
So
he didn't have a running game, but I'm not saying Marino wasn't good at processing. I'm just saying that
yeah,
I just
yeah,
think Joe Montana's processing was the highest of anyone in that
yeah,
era. That's all.
yeah.
It's not a
That's
knock
fine.
on Marino. It's like when people
Yeah.
talk about, they asked Jimmy Johnson who's the better quarterback, Dan Marino or Troy Aikman. It's hard to judge that because Aikman wasn't allowed to throw the ball all over the place like Marino.
And that
You
was a
know?
real running error at that time with Aikman. So they ran
Yeah.
the ball a whole lot in
Yeah.
that era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't know. I mean, take Aikman today. Oh my gosh, he probably had 6,000 yards passing. Because of how accurate he was. I
Yep.
mean, he said he would have had Amari Cooper's tongue hanging. I thought that was hysterical when he said that. When the games, his tongue would be hanging out. I was like, damn. But that's how the game is now, man. You can pass more. So you
Yep.
know,
And that's how
it's
they
just
made it. They made it really conducive for the offense to succeed versus the defense, bro. I mean, they hurt the defense in so many ways. But yeah, you're right, man. If you've been playing in this era where he can sling it, yeah, he was very accurate, boy. And they try to compare Dak Prescott to Troy Aikman numbers and shit. I be like, man, come on, man.
no,
Are you kidding
no,
me?
no. Mm-mm.
Are you kidding me? These Slurpees are so man. It's oh goodness.
Man, I went after Mark Holmes. I went after Mark Holmes when he was talking about, oh, Dak's a better quarterback than Warren Moon. I'm like, excuse
What?
you? Yeah, he went. I said, wait a minute. Do you know
No,
what
he
Warren Moon?
didn't say he was better quarterback than
Yeah, you did. He
No,
talked
he
about
did.
yes, he did. He talked about the numbers, and I'm like, bro, numbers don't tell the whole story. You got to watch the games.
You
You
gotta watch
cannot
the
tell
game,
me.
man.
I mean, first of all, Warren Moon didn't get to finish and start his career here in the U.S. He had to go through the back channels with Canada, which is unfortunate. We all were robbed of that.
Yep,
And
yep.
he was a pioneer, and because of him, people like Dak. I mean, he's just one of those guys that should not even be allowed to be on the discussion table. All right, that's just how I feel about him, because of what he had to do. He's just one of those people, and but unfortunately, you got idiots out there to do that. And you know, I'm just saying he had Warren Moon had a great arm. He ran, like you said, teams weren't quite good enough. He never had a running game, and the defense was a joke when he was with the Houston Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
And Dak, he's had a top 10 defense. He's had a running game, and he wasn't able to get done. And the
Nope.
one season I felt that based on Dak's skill set and mental capability, that they should have probably done something was that year they lost against the Rams, because the Rams were like, "We're going to stop the run. Prove to me you could beat us throwing the ball," and he failed.
Failed
They,
miserably.
miserably, because you got
Miserably.
one-on-one coverage, and I'm like, Dak, just do what you did your rookie year, just dunking Dak, as you were calling it, and he didn't do it. I'm like, wait a minute, this is what you're known for, and you didn't do it. What the? And that's when my
But see, and they still with they still hating on Jalen Hurts for the fact that Kansas City said, look, we're finna stop Saquon. Hurts, you're gonna have to beat us. But then they say they still hate on Hurts, but Hurts, he stepped up and did it.
That's the difference, boss.
No,
That's the difference.
He stepped up when they said no, Saquon is not gonna beat us. Hurts, you're gonna have to do it. So what happened? Kellen Moore and Hurts
I know.
stepped up and they got the damn job done.
Yeah,
so why couldn't Dak step up with Kellen Moore and get the job done? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. And they still want to say this guy is top 5 elite. He's had just like Zach Martin said, we had teams equivalent and even better than the Eagles during that time, but we didn't get it done. So what they crying about? What are they saying? Dak never had this. He never had. Are you kidding me? Now they want to say Zach Martin don't know what the fuck he talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on now. Y'all put Zach Martin up here as a leader on the team, but now when he say something about He didn't say that specifically, but we know who the fuck he was talking about.
Oh, I know, for
We
real.
know what he was talking about.
And it's like your guy here, Double Dog, was just saying. I mean, Dak is a cult leader. I was reading that. He right.
Hey, hold on, let me see. Let me get some shout outs real quick. Let me get some shout
Devil
outs
was a
real
devil.
quick.
Yeah, Devil's right, man.
Got Dak Delusional fan. What's up, bro?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Delusion was
that's
my
what.
hero.
Yeah.
Delusion was my hero,
Double
man.
Dog, what's happening? Yeah, yeah. I seen in one of those. I don't know who it was. They still come through my feed, bro. And I read in the comments on one of them Dak Slurpees, man, on one of their channels. He got a name called
Who?
Dak Haters, Dak Delusional Haters or some shit.
Okay.
Some guy, I don't know. I guess he's trying to
Whatever.
talk about Dak Delusional fan. Now he's talking about Dak Haters. I don't know. I was like, man, that's crazy.
Nah, listen, man. I joke and say I'm the king of the Dak haters, but I mean, I don't, man. I just don't like seeing players busting their butt and their time being wasted because of one player. I've always hated that. It's like that coach's son kind of deal where that player's not good, but he's playing ahead of you because he's the son of the
Right,
coach. And
right.
that's how Dak rubs me. He rubs me that way. He reminds me of that. I had that experience. I'm not going to say what period of my
Yeah,
younger life, but I went
yeah.
through that where there's a guy played above myself and some other guy, and the only reason was because he's the coach's son.
As a coach's son.
And I hate that crap. It's like, look, man, if I'm beating you on all the things that really matter, then why the hell are you starting? And that's the thing that drives me nuts. I mean, I really thought. I mean, go back to that one year when Dak's contract was up, right? His first contract.
His after his rookie, the first one.
The first contract, right? So
Okay.
you look at that draft, and it's like, okay, Dak's hurt. You had him franchise tag. You could
Yep.
you could withdraw the tag. By the way, people forget that. And you're in that draft, and yes, we got Micah Parsons, right? But there was opportunities to get other quarterbacks.
Yep. It sure was.
I
Even Jalen
mean,
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. You could Justin Fields. I think who else was available for
Yep.
that?
Justin Fields was in that one.
Mac. I'm not saying to get Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones.
You know,
Yep.
you could have drafted anyone, and
Sure
you can't tell me.
was.
Yeah, you couldn't tell me one of those
Facts.
guys couldn't do exactly what Dak has done. And that's what these Dak fanboys don't get. They're like, well, who are you going to trade him for? I mean, I said this offseason when I was watching the Junkies thing, I said, man, I'd take Zach Wilson. I mean, and they're like, Zach Wilson did nothing in New York. I'm like, yeah, but who was he throwing to in New York? He got Garrett Wilson and, where's
And
and then the offensive line was still waiting.
only thing that was good with the Jets was their defense.
Yep.
That was the only thing good with the Jets.
Yep.
They had a good defense.
Right.
But they did have Jabbar at running back, but
Yep.
still, they
That's about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you look at Justin Fields. I mean, I saw him at Ohio State, and I looked at him when he went to the Bears. I'm like, man, they got no offensive line. Talk about his rookie year. They had no receivers his rookie year. They had nothing. Then all of a sudden, the last year of his thing, you get DJ Moore. Offensive line is in transition, and he gone. And now look what the Bears done. They brought in all those receivers for Caleb Williams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, he didn't do too good last. I mean, I looked at Caleb. I'm like, man, you got more weapons than Fields, and you did garbage. And Fields goes to the Steelers. What are they doing? Retooling the offensive line. They got one receiver, and you got Arthur Smith, who's probably the worst OC in all of pro football. I mean, I'm just being real because when I saw him do to Marcus Mariota and the Falcons, I was like, what are you doing? Marcus is actually doing good, and you're changing the play to. I'm like, what? What are we doing here?
Marcus came in and beat us.
Yeah, he did. I'm like, what are you doing?
Man, he came in and balled.
Yeah, so I mean, those are players you could have had, and I'm just like, and Kellen Moore. I mean, he ain't great, but I mean, damn. I just have to say it.
Yeah, he ain't great, but whatever he's doing, it's like they say, like with the coach with Andy Reid with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, I forgot his coach, whatever, but you gotta okay, they say Dak don't have the coach, but he still got to be that quarterback that be on the same mind frame as the coach. That shit come together. You can have the quarterback, but you don't have the coach. You got the coach, but you don't have the quarterback. That shit only matches up when you got the coach and the quarterback that see the shit the same way. You see what I'm saying? That's why Dak couldn't do nothing with San Francisco in their day. You know what I'm saying? When they had everybody running on all cylinders, because Dak couldn't process that shit. He couldn't run the offense.
What do you think he did? What do you think he did with Mike McCarthy? I mean, McCarthy said, "Oh, everyone says, oh, Mike McCarthy's this and that." Let me tell you something about Mike McCarthy's offense. What I understand it to be, he has it in such a way where you can learn it real quick, and he expects you because you are the player, you are the one on the field to make decisions. That's why he needs a quarterback like it's not like Aaron Rodgers, or even Brett Favre. Because you look at Brett Favre's last few years when he had him, his interceptions went down. And I'm like, Brett Favre was known for interceptions. Let's be real. So I'm just saying. So everyone say, "Oh, Mike McCarthy can't coach." Nah, Mike McCarthy can coach. It's just that he looked at Dak. He's like, okay, let's take this sheet off. Let's cut the menu in half, and in the Packers game, the playoffs game, I saw him in that game walk up to Dak, and I can't read lips, but I know what he was asking. He's like, "What are you seeing? What do we need to do?" And let me tell you something. As a player, you want to hear that from a coach when you're in battle. And Dak had that look like a deer in the headlights. I don't know. I don't know. I just, what do you want me to do, coach? And it's like, no, this is not what I want to do, coach. It's what are you seeing? What do we need to do? And Dak failed miserably. And that's why you see CeeDee Lamb having that fit on the sideline. He's like, man, you're not seeing this? That's what he was that's what he was saying. Yep. You're not seeing that. You're the quarterback. You're not seeing this. I mean, and that's why you saw McCarthy having a freaking hissy fit on that game, man. He was having a fit. I thought he was gonna have a stroke.
Is that the game when he slammed the tablet down?
Yep. Yes, he did. He was pissed because he's like, "What do you want me to do? I can't play the game for you." See, the problem is Mike is too polite. Because let me tell you something. If that was Jimmy Johnson, he would have took him out of the game just out of principle.
Dak wouldn't probably be playing with us if it was Jimmy Johnson. He'd be gone.
Yeah, that's true too.
He won't be on the team, bro.
Yeah, he would never got that second contract. Yeah.
Like, no, bro.
No.
Because he already said he wouldn't have re-signed that. When we re-signed that for that Cleveland game, Jimmy Johnson was like, I wouldn't have never re-signed his ass.
No. Well, he said that the first contract too. So he said that on the Cowherd. Yep. He said he wouldn't have signed Dak that first contract. So that's twice he said it. Yeah, he said it twice. Because his whole thing is, fans don't want to talk about the money. Money's part of the game, which is your cap. And you got to look at your players and say, okay, if I have this guy, he's a force multiplier. Does that mean I don't need as many players? I mean, the Packers with Aaron Rodgers, they say he only won one Super Bowl. Well, yeah, because the Packers only gave him what? 1 year he had actual receivers in the defense, and all of a sudden, what do you want him to do? He did all the numbers. He won games for them. You could say he really won games for him, forcing the issue. And you could say the Packers organization really failed Aaron Rodgers. Now, don't get me wrong, Aaron Rodgers is a diva, and we saw more of that towards the end of his career because he's probably got to the point where he didn't care no more.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing. So when you're building the team, I mean, that's why the Bears get rid of Justin Fields. It's not that they felt they couldn't develop him anymore. They just were like, you know what, we got too many holes. We can't pay him, $50 million. So they're like, bye, let's reset this to give us that break so they can keep adding more pieces to build their team. And so, and they must believe that Caleb Williams has more ability. So they just took a chance. I mean, look at the Titans. I mean, Will Levis, yeah, he has arm talent, whatever, but he's a head case. So guess what they do? We're resetting the thing again. I'm just saying, all these teams did it. The Philadelphia Eagles did. They had Carson Wentz, remember? Just like Dak. He was a runner-up.
The Chiefs did it with Alex Smith. The Chiefs did it with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep, and they paid him
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
the real fan. Dak fanboys try to say Kellen Moore had to cut playbook for Hurts. He played Hurts strength. Exactly. And see, that's my thing too. They try to say that they cut the playbook for Cooper Rush when he came in the game when Dak was hurt.
Yep.
I see was
Playbook
Cooper
opened
Rush,
up.
he played the quarterback position better than Dak.
Yep.
To me, they kept the same playbook. They didn't dumb it down for Cooper Rush.
I think they opened it up. I think they opened it up.
They opened it up more.
Mhm.
They opened it up more for Cooper Rush because to me, he seemed like he could handle it. He could run the offense. Dak, he couldn't do that shit.
Yep.
To me, that was my point. But that's a shot at Dak Prescott playing the quarterback position, man. Cooper Rush looked like a quarterback playing a position. When you watch Dak play it looked hard. It looked mechanical.
Yes.
It looked fluid. It don't look organic. It just looked like he's like a different player. Like he's subbing in to play the quarterback position because we don't have another quarterback.
No, you know what it is, man? I remember, okay, I don't know what game it was, but there was a game he drove the ball 80 yards, and I never in my time as a fan ever got tired. I remember going, man, that was painful. Like, he scored, but it was a painful drive. Every drive is painful. There's not a drive you're like, man, that was exciting. Like, even, you can look at Joe Milton, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you can look at any of these quarterbacks that are not supposedly doing it well, and they don't make it look as painful as that. Every drive of Dak is painful. Scoring is painful. I mean, and it's like I was saying with Junkie, they were talking about the Packers game. When we lost that Packers game, you know what's funny? I know after the first quarter whether we're going to win the game. I have like a 99% success rate now. I could tell you right away.
Yeah, man, you could tell how the game was flowing. Yeah.
Because you see, with other quarterbacks, there's always a chance things can turn or whatever. But with Dak, by the end of the first quarter, this game's over. Like the Packers in the the playoff game. I knew after that first drive, like when the defense scored, right? The Packers scored on our defense. Yes, our defense sucked on that series.
Okay.
But when he went on the field and he threw that interception, the look on the defensive players of the Cowboys' face said it all. They're like, "Damn, he ain't even going to bail us out."
But you know what, Derek?
And they gave up.
Defense came back on the field and made Green Bay punt the ball.
They did.
They 3-and-out Green Bay after they gave up the touchdown. Okay,
I know.
Dak got the ball back.
Okay. Yeah, but look at their faces, man. I'm just telling you, they knew they were going to lose that game.
Yeah,
they knew that Dak was not going to be the reason they won that game. They looked at it they're like, all right, he ain't bailing us out.
Yeah,
and you're right. The Cowboy defense stopped them and everything, but they knew. I mean, even CeeDee Lamb, they're like, yeah, we know what this is, and that's why he was frustrated because he knew.
Yep. He said, "Here we go again. Here we go again with this bullshit, man."
Yep.
And that's why I don't think CD and Dak is on the same page, bro. No. I think CD is like, I'm gonna go out here and do what I gotta do the best way I could do what I gotta do because I got a quarterback who just ain't he ain't it, man. And CD just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. I got paid. He was out there playing hurt, man, against the Falcons. And that Falcons game, even in that Falcons game, Cooper Rush came in with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And then they put up the same numbers as Dak. We had 3 quarters to play. Yep. Come on, man.
Well, it's just like Dak Delusion is saying right here. The 49er game, TJ Hilton was shown on the sideline telling Dak he was open and stopped just looking at the CD. I mean, that's all I gotta say, man. I mean, he nailed it right there.
Yep.
I mean, should have won at least 3 with.
And you remember that pick in that Detroit game? He threw in the end zone when we was in the red zone about to score. Yep. And he had Tolbert in the flat. He peeled out in the flat. He was wide open, but Dak forced it to CD in the end zone against Detroit. That was the game Aikman was talking about. Our wide receivers wasn't getting open and all this type of shit.
Yeah.
Because and the defense knew he was going to force it to CD. Everybody know when they play Dak Prescott, he's going to force it to CD. He doesn't read the defense and go look for who's open. He gonna force it to CD. That's why, man. They know, man. They know how to scout Dak Prescott.
Well, Dak Prescott, I'll tell you how to beat him. No, we all see when they go. You just run cover 3 on Dak, which is what Devangelo does when he played him with the Broncos, and he's gonna do the same thing when he's the Eagles. And Dak can't do nothing to that. And what's funny to me about it is what he did his rookie year is how you beat that. So all of a sudden, Dak wants to beat that reputation of dinking and dacking, and I'm like, bro, that's how you beat that defense. Why you got to take what it gives you, and go from there. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants to say, "Hey, I have a big arm." No, you don't. You have an adequate. It's an adequate arm. Okay. I mean, let's be fair. Look at Joe Burrow. Okay, does he have the strongest arm in the league? No, he doesn't. It is good enough.
Shit, Jeff George had a big arm, but what was his mentality though? No, Jeff George.
Yeah. Jeff George. That's a different story. No, that's a whole different. That guy had a ridiculous.
He had a cannon of an arm though, but what was up here?
Nothing. He like that. I mean, that was Jeff. Well, Jeff George worse than Dak upstairs, but that's another conversation. But no, I mean, I'm just saying that, like, when them guys saying here about Big Mike should have won 3 Super Bowls with the 2 quarterbacks. Yeah, they're right. If he had a few more things, I totally agree with that. I'm just saying that Mike McCarthy's a coach that he really believes in the players playing the game and not trying to get in the way of that, because these are professionals, and that's just his philosophy. Whether he's right or wrong is not the point. That's just how he coaches.
I do got one pushback with Mark McCarthy, man. He lied about running the ball, man.
Oh yeah, he did. You know what? You know what happened? You know what happened? Yeah, because Mike is a guy. He don't got patience. You saw it when he back when he was in Green Bay, which is if he doesn't start seeing 7-8 yard rips, and you're getting 1 yard here, 1 yard there, he
give up.
He give up.
Yeah.
So he wants to see. He wants to see something. If I can get a 5 yard here or whatever, but when he sees this 1 after 1 yard, 1 yard, 1 yard, he doesn't have like Jimmy, who would just like, you know what, I'm going to force the issue.
That's right. That's right. So by the drive, that's what I see what Schottenheimer's doing.
Oh, he
going to run the ball regardless. That's a good thing. I can take what I can see from Schottenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me he going to take a negative run. He'll take a 2 yard run. He'll take a 1 yard run, but he gonna continue to run because he gonna get that 15. He gonna get that 12. He gonna get that 27.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? That's how you prioritize the run game. You just don't give up, like you were saying, just because you don't. The first 2 times you run it, you get 1 or 3 yards. Mm-hmm. You gotta stick with it. You can't say,
Well, look back to Emmett's. Go back to the Emmett days, man. Emmett, the first couple of runs, he hardly did get a big run. It's just as the game went on, when you get to that 15th, 16th carry, then the wall breaks, so to speak. And that's when you're playing good teams. Okay, I'm not talking about the garbage teams. Like you said, oh no, Emmett had some big runs the first carry of the game against the Giants. Well, yeah, the Giants sucked at that point, but when you played the good teams, it was like when you get to the 15th and 20 carry, that's when the dam would break. And Schottenheimer knows that, because I saw that with him with the Jets. I saw that with him with the Seahawks. The only kind of knock on him outside of, he was never a head coach, is that when the game seems to be out of reach, he's still trying to run the football, and it's kind of like, well, you gotta throw the ball now. But I respect it. He ain't giving up on the run, but bro, you gotta. We got to throw the ball now.
Yeah, that's true.
So now you're gonna have that reverse kind of problem. But I think with this line, how it is allegedly, and you should be able to run the ball a lot more. But I just what's this, when Dak threw that interception, the defense checked out, game was over. Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about. That's right, Delusion. That's the Packers game I'm talking about. They were like, we're done.
Was that a pick six? Was the pick six first Or he just threw a interception? Was it the pick six? No, I
No,
think it was.
it was just a straight interception, and the defense had that look of like this game is over. Then they
Oh yeah,
stopped
that was the
them.
one he threw to. He was throwing to Cooks, but
Cooks, yep,
yeah,
Brandon
yeah.
Cooks, yep.
And they said the defender muscle Cooks. No, that shit
No,
was a
then
damn inaccurate pass. That's what it was.
you know, and that's the thing about with Dak when drafting receivers. I mean, I know people get pissed off when I say this. At least the Dak Slurpees do. I mean, I've never seen. I mean, CeeDee Lamb. Let me tell you something. CeeDee Lamb is the most ridiculous ballerina I've ever seen because the way he has to contort his body to catch these Dak passes. I'm like, can
Shit, you
he just
seen
catch it?
you seen him from Gallup? The Gallup had to used to catch from
Well,
Dak.
I know, but that's why Gallup's hurt. He career over because I mean, people talk about Derek Carr killing Michael Thomas and causing Olivier, Chris Olivier, those concussions. I
What?
mean, yeah. Derek Carr, the quarterback for the Saints, he caused Michael
Yeah,
Thomas' career over, along with Olivia, Chris Olave. I should sorry, that's his name, Chris Olave,
Olave.
receiver. Yeah, those
Damn.
throws he threw. Yeah, because he watch those throws, he causes his receivers to get hurt, and
So you just
that
like Dak then.
well, they're the same guy. So I mean, it's just that Lamb for somehow reason knows how to not take those hits. Like he'll just torque his body in ways to catch a
Yeah.
ball where he don't get the hit. But you know, like everyone talks about Jalen Tolbert. See, what I see with Jalen Tolbert when he gets the ball, this is what I notice. All right, there's some drops that you're like, yeah, you need to catch that. But there's times where I look at him, he's like, I ain't catching that. I ain't getting my head cut off.
Right.
He
Right.
making business decisions, which
Yeah, I
I
seen
don't
CD
blame him.
do that too.
Well, you have to. You got to protect yourself. Your quarterback ain't doing it, so you got to protect yourself. It's like, oh hell no, Dad, I'm not tapping that. And Michael Gallup didn't do that, and that's why, unfortunately, his career got
He
cut
got hurt
short.
a lot. Yeah.
Yep. And then so and Amari Cooper. I think what's funny is I think Amari actually went and told Dak, "Look, you throw stupid shit, I ain't catching it." So,
And
and
that's why I hear a lot of Cowboys fans give Amari Cooper a bad rap, talking about he would give up on plays and he would check out of games. But probably you just made a point. That's probably why they looked at him like that. Because
mhm,
that getting him killed and the
he ain't doing that.
frustration with Dak Prescott not being able to read a defense and give him the ball properly and accurately. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? A lot of receivers, man, this bro, woo, well, we got something terrible at this quarterback position, man.
Well,
Oh my God.
but the thing is, Amari, unlike a lot of players, he has other things to do other than football. He has other interests in life, and that's why that happens. And as a
Yeah.
devil dog saying here, Dak throws balls like a wounded dog. I love that. You know what I'm saying? You're right, because I mean, it's like, look, man, hold on. I gotta apologize to my high school quarterback, man. If he's watching, hey, I apologize. Complaining about your throws, man. I owe you an apology because,
Dak is
man,
worse.
Dak is worse. So, Demuccio, I'm sorry, man. I apologize. All right, I
Hey,
owe
we'll
you an
read some of these
apology.
comments, Derek. Let me read some of
Go
these
ahead.
comments. All
Yeah.
right, yeah. Okay, DC Big O, so what's up, man? What's the difference between Danny White, Dak Prescott? One can throw the ball and punt, and the other one throws interceptions.
I'll add
Yeah,
one more to that, man. Danny White got to the championship.
sure
So,
did.
all the
I think Danny
time.
White got us the NFC Championship game.
Mhm. Yep, he
Come
just couldn't.
on, man.
And his
They
defense
mad
was
at Danny
sucked.
White because he won star back and didn't do what Aikman did, but he got us the NFC Championship games, man.
Yep.
He was
Yep.
very, very competitive. It's just
Yep.
unfortunate during that time, shit, you know, shit.
And
But man, Dak ain't got, man, we ain't sniffed the NFC Championship with Dak Prescott. And this dude gets all these praises and chances, and they so patient with this guy. Are you kidding me?
I got look. My brother and I were both saying we owe Danny White an apology because it's weird back because you got to figure you after Staubach, everything was junk, right? I mean, no, I mean it's not Danny's fault. It's just that's just the reality of it. Then Aikman
Yeah.
comes in, and you get spoilt with that, and I look at a lot of quarterbacks we had. It's like, well, before Dak, what quarterback did we have that was any good? Well, if Quincy Carter could have put down the coke, he probably could have been a good quarterback, but he loved the coke too much.
Hey, Quincy, my guy, man. Quincy, my guy, though. You know, I got
Yeah,
his
I know
jersey, man.
he's a good
Quincy,
guy, but he couldn't let go of the coke. So that's why that's what happened, man. I mean, Parcells like, what's it going to be, football or coke? And he's like, coke.
Coke. God damn it. Shit, fuck this football. Chris E, speaking of running the ball, who was the running back we picked? We
Jalen
picked
Blue. Jalen
yeah,
Blue from Texas.
Jalen Blue. Yeah.
Do you watch some tape of him and Jamal Charles? You basically seen the same player.
2.0, yeah. Devil Dog, Big Osa. He could punt, and I believe he took his team to 3 innings. Yeah, championship game. Yeah, Danny White. Yep.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
He did.
Yep. Devil Dog. That sniff sack.
Nah, man, he sniffs Jerry's pocketbook, man. He smells that. He smells that.
Man, he robbed Jerry with no mask, bro, twice. He didn't even need no mask with Jerry. Just give it up, Jerry. Give it up.
You know what? Every time my brother and I were joking about it, but you remember Pulp Fiction with Vin Rams?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel that Hillbilly is Dak, man, and that's Vin Rams is Jerry Jones, because that's what he's doing them all, doing them Jerry dirty like that, man. He constantly doing that.
Yeah. DC Big Osa, you're going to need a chiropractor.
For real, man.
Devil Dog, the Slurpee's choking on the summer sausage. That Slurpee's off the graded, man. And they pissed off we ain't got no wide receiver in the draft. They mad about that shit.
Damn.
The real fan. I've been telling those Dak fanboys, Dak has had good coaching. It's not Dak for execution. I mean, it's on Dak for not executing. Yeah.
I mean, to go back to it,
bro.
Well, I mean, you go back to Jason Garrett. I mean, you go back to Jason Garrett, right? What did they do? They worked on his footwork, right? And then when John Kitna came in, it was his throwing motion, and they fixed this to fix that. Mike McCarthy comes in, he's like, you saw the what was it? Not training camp, prior to training camp, whatever, the summer camp, whatever they call it. He's saying, Dak, 1, 2, 3, throw the damn ball. You don't have 17 Mississippi States to drop back and throw the damn ball, you know? So, I mean, the coaches have done everything they need to do. He's 8 years in the league. All right. This is 9 years. You're 9 years in the NFL league. Your coach. It's not about the coach no more, man. It's about you. You should know what the defenses are doing. You played these guys long enough. You know their tendencies. What the hell are you doing? There's a point in time where you need to take over the game.
Jesse Holly said that shit.
Yeah, because he's right. When you play the game, I mean, listen, all I know is this, right? And we all played sports or whatever, and I know that when you have a good coach, and I had a great coach at one point when we were playing football, and I loved about him was, I mean, the game, we were so coached up for the games and we knew what we were looking for that he didn't even have to call plays. I mean, our quarterback was just going in calling plays. He already knew what the coach wanted.
You recognize it, yep.
You just know it. He loved us for. I remember after there was a game we lost, right? But the plays that we did and what we did, coach is like, you know what? This sounds cheesy. I always remember him saying that, but you guys did what you're supposed to do. You recognized what it was. Unfortunately, the team was just better than us talent wise. But I can't, it is what it is with that. Other people better than you. That's all you can. There's nothing you can do about that. But in terms of what you wanted to do, execution and recognizing it, he was very proud of us.
Yeah.
And you can't say that with the Cowboys. I mean, and that's where you got these players that why they're so pissed off. I mean, think about it. In all your years of watching football, have you ever seen the corner of the same team call the quarterback like Trayvon Diggs did? What do you call him? Shut your
bitch ass up.
I mean, you think Deion could have said that to Aikman? Do you think I mean, none of them would have done that. I mean,
Deion had respect for Aikman because he performed on the field. He knew what time it was. You know what I'm saying? If Dak would perform when it matters most, Trayvon, I mean, he wouldn't have said no shit like that because he know he a bitch ass.
Yep.
When it's time to step up, he bitch out.
Yep.
feel me?
and
And I'm gonna be real with you, Derek. I kind of tried to. That's when I was kind of, rooting for that. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Until I start recognizing like, but I try to make excuses for him when Trayvon said, "Man, that's just competition. That's just
No,
nah,
no, no,
nah, bro.
no.
You
There's
don't
there's an
disrespect the
unwritten rule in
leader,
athletics.
the quarterback of your team. You
You
do
don't do
not
that.
disrespect him like that
Let me tell you something.
unless you feel some type of way."
If you do have that conversation, that's behind closed doors. But like I
Yep.
said, I had a quarterback that him and I did not get along at some point. But would never, man, never players would have said something like that, or teammates, whatever. But I mean, and
That's fair.
it's just facts. I mean, you go even on the street ball, whatever. No one's going to be doing that. But it's just Dak just sucks, man. That's all it is. I mean, he just sucks. I mean, that's just nothing. You can't.
80 Vaughn. 80 Vaughn. What 805 Vaughn? What's up, bro? Ask me.
3 years from now about the draft picks. Yeah, I agree. You're right, because Mozzie's a great example of that, man. But you know what's funny? I saw some clip Richard Sherman was talking about how, and this is he's a professional, obviously we're not, but he says you can tell if the quarterback's got anything after the second year. And he's got a point because the first year, no one got tape on you, right? So and if you have any talent, you're gonna pull something off. And Dak did that his rookie year. We're like, okay, maybe he's got some.
Mm-hmm.
Second year, okay, you don't. All of a sudden we got tape on you. How did you adapt to it? And he didn't. And as
Plus, he didn't
delusional,
have Zeke for 6 games too. So
yeah, he got
that
exposed.
really would have showed how good he was be able to perform without having Zeke. Because in his rookie year, did they split rookie
No,
of the year, or did Dak win
yeah,
that shit?
I think Dak got it. And offensive rookie year went to Zeke. But as a delusional says right here, Gallup got hurt. Was it spinning around to catch and that pass for a touchdown versus the car? There you go. I mean,
He did a lot of spinning catches, 360 catches from Dak.
you
He did
shouldn't
it
be
in the
doing that.
Redskins game.
You shouldn't be doing those spinning catches like that. Listen, let me tell you something. Jerry Rice was one of the best receivers you all saw, but we never seen Jerry do any of that. I never seen Jerry
Never
contorting
made
his
no spinning
body.
catch. Yep.
Hell no.
Yep. And he
Michael
never got
Irvin.
hurt. Jerry Rice never got hurt.
You know why he didn't do no
Not
stand?
to my remembrance, but
No, Jerry did
from
get
what I
hurt.
remember, he played healthy pretty much his career.
No, he got hurt. He got hurt in the Niners. That's why he ended up with the
Okay.
Raiders because he hurt his
Okay.
his knee.
I could see he probably got hurt, but for most of his career, he was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He was healthy.
Yeah, he got hurt once, but it wasn't like you can't go and say, "Well, that was the quarterback's fault." That's just part of football.
Yeah,
But
that was part of football.
but Gallup got hurt because of Dak. Quarterbacks. Oh, here it is. The real fan one. The quarterbacks that could have replaced Dak: Hurts, Fields, Mac Jones, Shador Sanders.
We said all those. We named exactly all of those quarterbacks.
Damn. That's all these quarterbacks here.
Dak delusional fan. Quincy was way better than Dak. Yeah.
Yeah, what? The sad part is Quincy had an arm talent. He was
sure
mobile.
did.
And when Parcells got in there, it looked like he turned it around. But it is what it is, man.
Like
and
you said, man, that coach. But you know what? Even Quincy said it. He said it, man. He said he had a problem, man. He wanted to.
Yeah.
That was more football to them at the time. He said that shit, man. So hey, yeah. That was the reason, or a big reason, Cowboys lost every play. Yep, he was a big part of
the reason. Listen. If you go back when they tried to make this argument about Dak versus Aikman, the regular season, yes, Aikman did enough to what was needed to win. And guess what happens? You go to the playoffs, everyone tries to stop the run. Every team, the stakes change. The game, it's a different game. And Aikman in the playoffs just turned into an assassin.
Yep.
That's just basically, because you look at this playoff games and the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl, I mean, you're like, where the hell did this guy come from? It's like he woke up. Oh, it's playoffs time. All right, now they'll go play. And Dak don't got that
He
killer
don't. He
instinct.
don't have that. It's
No.
like, oh, bro, I don't see what these Slurpees see in Dak. I mean, by now you can see, man, that in the playoff when it matters, even in regular season games, when there's a
Yep.
playoff atmosphere and we're
Can't
going
do
up
it.
against a good team,
Yep.
he shits himself just like in the playoffs. So I'm like, I mean, this is a pattern, and you tell me y'all can't see the pattern, or are you just bewildered by rooting
Well,
for
it's
him
like that.
because it's
Oh,
off field?
Devil Dog nailed it. This is
He's
what it
like,
is. He solved it. He's the world's greatest detective. Devil Dog said this, but Jerry must like what he saw in the shower. And I think what these Dak fanboys might be the same thing. They all went to the same Diddy party.
because when what man, you see the videos they was posting with him throwing the ball. Oh, he lost so much weight. Their thumbnails was with him with his shirt talking about, look at him, he lost so much weight. Oh, he's gonna be so good. And I'm like, damn, you paying attention to him losing weight and
Right? I
throwing
don't
the
care about
ball with a
that.
shirt off and shit? He did that shit season almost every offseason. He does the same shit. And when we get into the season, when it starts, into the playoffs or whatever, garbage.
You,
Garbage.
you know what's funny? The best game he ever had, and I don't remember what year it was. Yeah, because Amari was Amari. Yeah, Amari's on the team. It was that Vikings game. Jason Garrett was still the coach. He had a game where he was just throwing dimes, and I remember saying, my brother and I were talking about it, and we're like, you know what? If this guy we see today, if we saw him 80% of the time, he would have wanted my support because that game was unbelievable. And then Jason
Yeah.
Garrett cost us that game. Trying to run the ball. At that one point, I'm like, why are you? He threw just four. It was like 14 straight passes, perfect.
I
You know,
remember that game. I
you know what
remember
I'm
that
saying?
game.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, what are you doing? So, Jared. I mean, honestly, if I was Jerry Jones, I would have fired Jason Garrett right after that game right there. But that's why I'm not an owner, man. I'd be losing players like that. But he don't do that. You play against good teams. He plays the Niners in the regular season, gets destroyed. Um, he did have one good game. I guess what was that? That one game he just came back with an arm injury. He played against was it the Buccaneers? He went toe to toe with Tom Brady, but he still lost. That was a good game. But
But you know
other
what?
than that, good.
That one of those two, the Tampa Bay game, one it was like
In the regular season, I was talking about when
both
he
of
hurt
them
his arm.
was
He hurt his
at
arm.
the
Remember?
first game of the seasons. I can't remember, was it
Yep.
2021, 2022? We played them
Yep.
after they won the Super Bowl. Or
Yep.
each
Yep.
year, one was in Tampa Bay, one was in Dallas. We
Hmm.
lost both of them games, right?
Yep.
Right. So, but when we played them in the playoffs and we beat them, they say Dak retired Tom Brady. But when Tom Brady was playing still healthy and with a healthy team, we lost.
Well, put it
So
this way.
they want to lift up that. They forget
Mm.
about those two games. They
Well,
lift up that playoff game where they was 8-9 and went to the playoffs with a terrible ass defense with the Bucks.
and the Buccaneers were all injured, so I'm like, you didn't play nobody. You played in third
Yeah, that's what
string,
I'm
second string.
saying.
So yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
I'm like, we retired Tom Brady. Nah, Tom Brady's like, you know what? I don't need this. That's what Tom Brady said. You can even tell him the game he didn't want to play. That's the first game I ever saw Tom Brady where he looked like he didn't even want to play the game.
he was
So you
like,
know
"Fuck
what?
it."
Whatever. He's like, I don't care. It's Dak Prescott. I ain't even gonna sweat this one. The hell do I care about Prescott? Prescott.
Decent Big Osa.
Oh.
Dak is making mistakes on the field that a rookie would make. Yup.
Yes.
Then you look at Washington, JD5 acts like he's been there before.
Yeah, he scared. I mean, Jaden Daniels, man, unbelievable. I mean, he has like really one receiver. The offensive line sucks,
Shit, he
and
had Noah
oh
Brown
my,
at the number 2.
oh my God, he was good. I mean, him, C.J. Stroud. I mean, oh, you know what? Here it is. People
Jordan
are asking me.
Love.
People are asking, well, who are your top 10 quarterbacks? I think I got to 15 before I got to that the
Hey
other
man,
day.
Dak ain't even top 20, bro. You can get to about 5 more quarterbacks.
You sure?
He ain't top 20, man, but he paid like he's the best player in the league. That's the disappointing part. Not the best quarterback in the league, but the best player. He's getting paid better than every player in the league. Are you kidding me? He ain't even top 20 at his position, but he's paid the highest player in the league.
Yeah.
And we gotta build up this damn offensive line in a run game to limit his touches. How do you limit the best paid player at the most important position? You gotta limit his touches. He's supposed to be controlling the touches of the ball.
Man,
it's like a pitcher. And when I played baseball, I was a pitcher.
There you go.
You control the game.
Yep.
You determine fucking 98% of the outcome of that game because you're the pitcher. Yep. He's the quarterback.
Yep.
You determine damn near 98% of the outcome of this game.
Yep. Yep.
Because you're at the most important position. You lead the team.
That's the thing with that's why I couldn't play baseball, because I felt it almost feels like 80% of the game is between the two pitchers.
Man, I played pitcher, man, and
but you know what I'm talking about. Am I right? Am I right?
No, you're not.
So that's why I couldn't play it, because I felt that was just I couldn't be a pitcher. I didn't have the arm talent or whatever. But I mean, I just looked at it, I'm like, damn, am I really contributing, or is it really just the pitcher? And so,
I mean, the pitcher is control of the game, man. He determined if you know how to strike out, you know what I'm saying? Get you K after K after K.
Yep.
Getting ground balls to your shortstop, getting ground balls to the third base, and you 1, 2, 3 in. Man, that's a good pitcher, bro. Pop flies, you getting short field pop flies. Man, you controlling the game. You pitching, bro. You handling that shit. But if you got a pitcher up there, he getting smacked around, you getting triples, you getting doubles on this pitcher. Nah, bro. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose.
I mean, what the Cowboys have to hope for this season, and it's not realistic, but it's just a fact, is you got to get them numbers like how the Ravens did with Trent Dilfer, or even the we don't have the defense to do it, but the Broncos with Peyton Manning's last Super Bowl. You got to hope your defense is like that dominant, and your quarterback only has to make maybe 10 passes, critical passes, that is, to win. And that's the sad part. I just said 10 critical passes. See, that's the other thing that people don't understand. Peyton Manning, even though he didn't have his arm was gone, we all knew that it was dead, but he was able to make the critical passes that they need him to make. Dak has never made. Yeah. He made those passes. He couldn't win the game for you, but in terms of by himself, but he made the critical passes.
He made the critical passes when needed to. Yeah.
And Dak is and Dak with his arm that's not shot yet, might be this year, who knows? Has never been able to make those passes. I mean, other than that Viking game. I mean, the Viking and that Bucks game. I'll give them 2 games. I mean, because I remember people were like, "Oh my God, look at that Eagles game when he threw that pass to Amari. That pass was garbage." And Amari, I don't know how the hell he caught that. And as it says right here, and on the Real World, you would resign in Dallas if you were Mike. Or resign. So, dude, if I'm Micah, man, I gotta ask myself 2 questions, honestly. Do I want to win a Super Bowl, or do I want to make money? And if you stay with the Cowboys, you're gonna make a lot of money. And
I think you want to make money, bro. I think Michael Parsons just want to make money and be
I think so
in
too.
the glamour, in the glitz and glamour. You know what I'm saying? Having a star on his helmet. That's to me, Michael.
I agree.
He already got the podcast. You know what I'm saying? He ain't. You know, to me, he like Dak. If we do good, we do good. If we don't, hey.
Well, it's like, Junkie busts my chops about this. He asked me the question, like, if you had to pick between a Super Bowl ring with $30 million or 100 million, what would you pick? I said, depends on who I won the Super Bowl with. He said, nah, man, that don't matter. I said, yes, it does. Because if I win it, look, let's take other sports, man. If you win a championship with the Lakers or the Knicks or the Celtics, you got money coming to you after your career's over. But if you
Yeah.
win it with like the Cleveland Browns or the Cavaliers, I mean, nobody cares. I'm just being real. I mean, think about it. You go to the Cowboys and you won the Super Bowl with the Cowboys
Yeah, that's a
after
big
30.
difference.
Oh my gosh,
That's
that's
a big
huge.
difference.
Shoot, I take $10 million with
But
the
see,
ring.
that's what I'm thinking. How our players should be. I don't think they understand the significance of being 12 and 5, 12 and 5, 12 and 5 in a regular season versus winning the fucking Super Bowl in Dallas. That shit is just, man,
Yep,
that's
it's that
beyond winning
brand.
that's beyond winning the Super Bowl in any other team in the NFL,
Well,
bro.
it
They
goes
just don't
beyond
understand.
sports. It goes beyond
Man, that
sports,
shit,
man. It's bigger than
yeah.
other sports. And like
Man,
here,
that
like
shit is,
but DC Big Osa said it was right here. He says that. He says that this is what see, that's the thing that fans don't understand because I guarantee that Dak's teammates know if he can play or not,
yep,
especially if you give him what's that? Give him the truth,
truth
the
serum.
truth serum.
The truth serum. Yeah.
Well, they kind of have because when they're saying who's the top five quarterbacks, and we forgot about that. How does a receiver? I'm sorry, and I played receiver, so you forgot your quarterback. Oh my god, I couldn't understand that. I was like,
Yo, that was Michael Parsons and CD. They
CeeDee
didn't put him in
Lamb.
his top 10.
I mean, look, Shannon Sharp on outside of what his issues right now. The
Yeah.
first when they asked him who's your number one quarterback, he always would say John Elway. I mean, um, White
No
Shoes
matter what.
Johnson, Warren
Yeah.
Moon, Drew
Shit.
Pearson,
Even
Staubach.
who's that
I
that
mean,
spoke up for Hurts? Was it Devonta
uh,
Smith?
no, it was AJ Brown. Even though he was yelling
No, I
at
mean
Hurts.
just recently I think it was Devonta Smith said that
Yep,
AJ Brown still his
Jalen
Jalen Hurts
Hurts, his
he's
favorite
top
quarterback.
five
Yep.
regardless to
hmm
him.
Oh
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? He didn't no, he was like, no, my boy top five. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about.
Yep.
So why didn't CD be like, no, regardless of what what everybody's saying about him, my dog top five. I don't
hmm
give a fuck. No,
Yep.
they don't do that for that because just like DC Big Osa said,
Yep.
they know who they playing with, bro. And that's what I said that before one of my other lives there. I said our players on our team in that locker room, they do not believe in Dak Prescott, man. They don't believe in him.
Well,
I'm
I
telling
listen.
you.
When he got hurt, what told me a lot this past year was when he got hurt. Did you see anyone come after to help him up? Not, and I'm asking the chat and everybody on that. Did anyone come to help him up? I didn't see it.
No.
And then the year when he broke his leg like that, I didn't even see the team. They didn't go to him until he was on the cart. And I'm like, that's kind of odd.
Damn, I didn't even notice that. I ain't even pay no attention to
There's
that.
some weird. When I see weird things, man, it stays in my head. Okay, it's like I don't get that because
Damn.
I mean it's just some weird stuff and like what Mozzie, aka sexual
Sexual
chocolate,
chocolate.
chocolate. Oh, Mark Henry, tag team. Okay, all right.
Boy, they go wild. They wild. Let's see. Archie 2026. Miami and Carolina will be fighting for the top QB next draft.
Miami
Why
Dolphins.
everybody saying Archie Manning in 2026? What
He ain't
I
coming
haven't
out.
really. I don't
He ain't
know the
coming
guy.
out.
I haven't really
No,
looked at him. I don't know nothing about
Archie.
him.
Archie needs to play 2 years before he considers the draft. That would be silly on his part to play 1 year and come out. That would be really silly on Archie
So what?
Manning's
He
part.
just a sophomore?
Well, no, this year he didn't even start. So this will be his first year starting 2025. So why would he come out after 1 year of playing?
Oh, so
You see,
I don't know about this guy.
I'm just
So
saying. I'm
I
just
just
saying. All
been
these people.
hearing a lot about that shit, man.
Well, they're all saying
Manning
because they're all saying that because if you look what he did in high school, he was great. And the few times you see him play in the college preseason and all that stuff. They're like, "Oh
Yeah,
man, he's so good." And I'm like, "Yeah, he's good, but he's still got to do his dues like everybody else."
yeah, he do.
Dag bragged about beating the defense, yet couldn't beat the 49ers defense twice. Yeah, right. Man, Dak would brag about beating a bunch of high school kids. What else is new?
Man, Drew, when they showed Dak throwing the ball, CD and none of the starting receivers were there. Nope, they wouldn't. I made a video about that too.
Yeah.
And you know who also said that? Um, Darren Woodson before the Super Bowl this past season.
He
He
said
said the
how
same shit. He said how
outside
he
his
saw
office you don't see him.
Troy Aikman and even Tony Romo out there throwing to his number one receiver, but he never saw Dak Prescott doing that shit.
Nope.
Where was CD?
Well, he trying to find a real quarterback. He said, "Jerry, man, can you get me a real quarterback? Come on, Jerry. Come on, man." He's like, all right.
Dak
Yeah, okay.
delusional fans. Dak 2016 Fool's Gold season stopped
Yeah,
Jerry from drafting Mahomes. Oh, damn.
that's
Yeah,
true
because
though, man.
Mahomes.
He's
Yep.
right. He's true.
Yep.
That
Sure
was true.
did.
Yeah.
Man, Dak had everybody. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was gonna be the shit.
No.
I mean, shit.
His rookie year was really good. I mean, but then like I said, I learned a lot from Richard Sherman when he pointed out by year 2 you know what you got. Look Bryce Young, okay? That's a great example. Bryce Young, quarterback for the Panthers. His rookie year was horrible, right? And then you look at his second year, you're like, oh, okay, maybe he can do something.
But he
How I
did
said,
come.
man.
He did come along a little bit towards the end of the season,
Right,
though. He started to
right.
kind of put some of that shit together. So yeah, his second season, he might be about it. You know what I'm saying?
I saw it. I mean, I seen it with Justin Fields. I see what the problems with him, Zach Wilson. But his second year, you start to see what the problems are, and then you can
Yeah.
see who can't really play. What's his name? Will Greer. He can't play. Quarterback of Cowboys, bro. I don't even know
Well,
why
shit,
he's there.
they brought him back.
I know he's not even qualified to hold the clipboard. I'm like, what are we doing? But Joe Milton, I have to give him a lot of credit because when I saw him in college to now, he never had touch on the ball. And yes, I know he didn't play against the starters of the Bills. I mean, he did first quarter, but the part of his game that he didn't have, he looks like he addressed. So that's once again,
Yeah.
you gotta develop those things. So like anything else, you gotta see what happens. But I honestly
Now,
believe that Trey Lance. I think Jerry. This is why Dak's contract took so long. I think Jerry was hoping Trey Lance would throw 5 touchdowns instead of 5 interceptions, so he could have told Dak, you know what, we're good, because he didn't want to sign him the first time. He
no,
brought
he
up that
didn't.
Russell.
He didn't
I mean,
want to sign the first time.
he
But
brought up that Russell Wilson thing.
he just should have went on. He should have just went on GP like, I ain't signing him regardless. I'm gonna let him play out the season because that's what I thought he was gonna do. I thought he was gonna let Dak play out the season, but he still had another chance. When Dak went down for them games, he could have put Trey Lance in then, but he didn't. And I'm like, damn, Jerry, you could have put him. I understand he wanted to go with the veteran Cooper Rush because it was a possibility that we could have made the playoffs.
That was Mike McCarthy. That was Mike McCarthy. That was Mike McCarthy.
So?
Yeah, well, McCarthy, the temperament of Mike McCarthy has always been, I'm gonna go with the guy that knows my offense the best over talent. And he just was like, I can't, because remember his coaching career was on the line. So are you gonna put in a guy that threw 5 interceptions in the preseason?
Probably lobby for Cooper Rush versus Trey Lance.
I guarantee you this: if Mike McCarthy had an extension and he had that comfort level, Trey would have played. I really do believe that. I think Trey, because that was the best, like you said, it's the best opportunity to see what this kid can do. Because his problem is he just needs to play. I mean, if I were Trey Lance, I would go play in the Canadian League or the USFL, where the hell it's called now.
Yeah, he just need to play. Yeah, yep.
He can't be a backup right now. He just needs to go and play. That's his problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, unbelievable.
Dallas fan 1997. He said he give it a B minus. I give it a C. Like I said, man. I just think.
Let me ask you. let me ask you this: why C? Is it because of how high they picked the guard, or is it the overall draft picks as a whole?
Overall, the players at the timing when they picked them, because okay, I'll give you this. Okay, you got Tyler Booker
Mm-hmm.
at 12, number one. Okay, I got you. You're addressing the trenches, which I like.
Okay.
But then the
What
second
would you
pick,
grade that? What would you grade Booker then? What would you grade that pick as on its own?
I get at a B plus.
Okay.
I get at a B plus.
All right.
But the second pick to me should have been D tackle, not edge, because we got Sam Williams, we got Michael, we got Nealon, we signed Fowler, we got these guys at the edge. I'm thinking we pretty straight right now at edge. Plus, what was the other guy? We got another from the Jets. Don't he play the edge? We signed a free agent from the Jets. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he ain't nothing.
But
No, he ain't
he's
gonna make
supposed
the
to be an
team.
edge or whatever. But I'm just saying though, we could have got edge later. We could have went D tackle, some of the top notch D tackles. Because to me, stopping the run, man, I don't know, bro. That's just something with me that I don't know. The trenches is where you
I have
offensive line. I want to maul the defensive line, and on the defense, I want to fucking battle around the offensive line on defense. And to me, we still didn't address that on defense. That's my thing.
I have no problem. My problem with the first pick is the fact that you should have been able to trade down, acquire more picks, and still get Booker. But because they were the Cowboys, and what happened when you try to keep flexing that Herschel Walker trade in everyone's face, you had to do what you had to do. So fine, I accept that. And I agree with you. I give it a B plus because you're forced to do it. You should not be in that situation where you're forced to do a draft pick like that. The second pick from Boston College, like that guy is really good, and I just don't. Sam Williams has not played a full season, so I can't trust him. Micah
So you
Parsons.
think that was a move? That's okay. That's a good
It's a
play.
smart. It's you know
That's a
what I'm
good
saying.
play.
And then when I look at what defensive tackles were available at that point, like I said, Derek Harmon was gone. Was T.J. Simpson was gone, or Sanders? Sorry, T.J. Sanders was
Derek
gone.
Harmon
Yeah, they were
and your
gone. So
boy Mason Graham was gone like
Mason
fourth or
Graham was
fifth
gone,
pick. Yeah, he
and
was
then
gone.
Dion, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name. Damn, he's Walker, I think it is, from Kentucky. You probably could have got him, but that would have been too high. And
Okay.
this kid from Boston, I mean, he's an edge that not only can get to the quarterback, but he can stop the run. So I got no problem with that. My problem is that pick with the corner now because I didn't know he had an ACL tear.
Yeah. He
See
already had
that ruined
surgery.
the because otherwise, I mean, I would have gave him a B for the draft. But now that I found that out, I said, man, you guys screwed up because you can't be taking positions like that. And no, I got a problem with that.
Yeah.
So that pick to me was really bad. Did they get a linebacker? I'm trying to remember who they got after him. So they
They
got the
got
corner.
they got the line. No, they got the linebacker after the cornerback.
Right.
Yeah.
And that
That's
linebacker.
the guy from Florida.
Right. That guy, now I gotta double check this. I think you could have got that Kentucky defensive tackle, if I'm not
Yeah, I
mistaken. I
heard
think he's
somebody
good.
else say that. I heard somebody else say that. I forget his name, but I remember him saying about the
Dion
Kentucky
Walker,
D
I think his
tackle.
name.
We could have
Yeah.
got it from yeah.
Yeah. That
That's
that would
right.
I mean that the linebacker was a stretch, and then you got the running back. I have no
Yep.
problem with Blue. That was a good pickup. The kid from UCLA, I have no problem with that pick.
He
It's
might
just
turn out to be decent because all I want some hogs in the middle, man. Just
mhm.
clog that shit up. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
We can clog that's where we've been getting killed in the run game, up the
Yep.
middle, not on the edge. On the sometimes the edge, but the majority of the time where it's hurt us, it's been up the middle. That's to me that Bills game up the middle.
hmm No, they got from the sides.
Arizona was inside and
Arizona
out
was
on
killing us
us.
up the middle. Yeah, Arizona was gutting us up the middle. But the Bills
Yeah,
game, they were killing us
yeah,
on the sidelines. So I mean, I got no problem
that's
with the kid
true.
from Boston College. It's just that this draft was supposed to be really deep in defensive tackle, and still the Cowboys did not pull off a premier guy.
I don't
Dak,
think so either.
now,
Yeah,
when Dak had no help, but no team has better than the 2019 Cal. Yeah,
that
yeah, you're right
2019
about that.
season.
Yeah, there was no excuse. That was his year. That's the Rams'
Woo,
year. We should have won. Listen,
woo.
and I think we could have beat. It was the Bengals, and we beat the Bengals earlier that year, so we could have won the Super Bowl if he had just
Yeah.
beat the Rams. But of course, it's not in Dak Prescott's DNA, to quote Jerry Jones.
Devil dog. Who has the zestiest warm up in the league? You ask. Quack
Oh,
quack.
damn. Oh, I love what
DC
other
Big
court.
Osa. Go ahead, Eric.
No, I love when other teams imitate Dak's warm up. I love when I see other teams doing that. That crack kills me. Even I mean, but what's that?
DC
Um,
Big Osa. And the worst thing about Dak right now is there's at least 2 more years. Yeah, 2 more years of
oh,
this bullshit. Yep. Dallas
oh,
fan 1990. You play outfield. What you play? Right, center, or left? Dallas fan. Yeah, I play outfield too. I play right field too.
mm.
Yeah, you know about baseball. King Don, what's happening? Joe Milton game. Joe Milton gonna show out. This team will be Joe's team real fast. 6'5", 260, black Superman. Okay, we'll see.
All Joe. And this is what I would do, man. If I was
Yeah,
Joe Milton, go study tape. It's not about your athletic ability. You've proven that.
he
You got
got
the
that.
strongest arm. You got the
He got
strongest
that.
arm in the league. So and you're fast. So we don't need to worry about that. You just need to go study tape. Whoever the best man, go to Jerry. Say, Jerry, I need you to give me $20 million so I can pay Tom Brady or whoever to coach me up in tape. That's what I need to do. And Jerry would be like, here's the check. You know
Here
what
we
I'm
go.
saying?
Hell yeah.
I mean, damn.
DC Big Osa. That can't make three critical passes. Not in a row.
Three? What do you mean three? Two? We three? Talk about three? Come on.
Devil dog. Peyton was a cerebral
Yep.
ninja. Dak is a mental midget window licker.
Damn. All right. But like
Well,
I
that
said, honestly,
devil dog be having some words, but he be going off on Dak. DC Big Osa. If you want to build your brand, become a Dallas Cowboy. If you
yep.
want to win a Super Bowl ring, go to a more serious team. Hey,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
it's looking like.
And you know what the sad thing is? There's a team. My brother and I were just talking about over the years. Like you look at some teams, you're like they've had some bad luck or whatever. You can honestly look at like the team like the Jets. I mean, they haven't been in the playoffs for what 11 years or whatever now. But you can't say it's without lack of trying because they build everything up but the quarterback. That's where they keep failing.
Yeah, that's
And the
true.
Cowboys, you can't say that because they just can't build a team right. It's not a situation where, you can look at the team and you're like, all right, we just don't have this piece. I mean, Marino's Dolphins, they just never got the running back because that was the era of the runner. Um, Warren Moon, obviously, no defense. Like literally no defense. He was the first Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow ain't gonna win no Super Bowl. So, and
But
that
shit,
was the point.
but Cincinnati, they made a mistake by giving them. They put all their money on the
Hmm.
receivers and the offense, man.
And that
Did
was the point.
what's it for Cincinnati? What's the defensive end? Did they sign him to a contract? Because
I
they
think he's
was going back and
he's
forth.
asking it. He's asking to be traded because the pie is empty, and that's the whole point. What I hate about these fans that said, "Oh, that's the owner's problem to figure out how to fit everything in the cap." For real, I mean, yes and no, it's true, but at the same time, you realize that you end up losing certain players. I mean, look at the 49ers. They had a window,
Yep,
it's closed. I was surprised.
close.
You know what's funny? Yeah, you know what's funny with the Niners? I was shocked. I really thought they would be the first team to have the balls to do it. I thought they were going to let Brock walk. That still hasn't happened, and they would have drafted Shador. I thought that would have made the most sense for the Niners
Ooh,
because you think about it from the standpoint of their cap situation, that would have freed up a lot of stuff for them right there. A rookie
true.
contract again because they benefited from Brock being Mr. Irrelevant. That's why they had those opportunities. And if they were able to grab Shador, you can't tell me Shador's not if not the same cerebral capability as Brock Purdy,
Of
but with
course, yeah.
better physical
Yeah.
talent. And you get him for 5 years, right? And you can build the rest of the team, and that window, will reopen in 2 years. I mean, that's what the Rams are doing right now. I mean, if you think about it, with they reload themselves. They're shooting for it this year,
Yeah, true.
and I'm still surprised that they didn't draft a quarterback or at all. Like they should have took Shador, because Matthew Stafford's got maybe 1 or 2 years left. So
I thought they had a backup. Who did they get a backup over there with the Rams under Stafford? I could
think
be
they did.
mistaken, but I
They
thought they
got
got somebody.
somebody.
I don't know
What's
who
his
it
name?
is, but
I think it's Jimmy Garoppolo. but
yeah, Garoppolo. It is
yeah, but
Garoppolo.
I ain't trusting him.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he a backup. He a decent backup.
Oh yeah. But I'm talking about going forward. I'm just saying that's not. I'm not
Yeah,
putting
yeah,
my.
true, true.
They say Dak.
Shit, that's
Okay,
kind of
hold on. I
like
like
us.
this. I like this.
Who
Oh,
we
this is the
got? Who
best
we got
corner
as a
there.
backup? Who we got as a backup going forward after Dak? We ain't got nobody.
No,
Be
well, we got
honest.
Joe Milton. Joe Milton.
Yeah, but
They say Dak is a dog. He's not a dog. He's a pussycat. I'm a real fan of I like that. No,
Dallas
you're right.
man, Dak in top 5. Oh, that's a joke. Maybe in an NFC East. Man, Dak ain't top
Yeah,
5.
now he's the worst quarterback in
Yeah,
this.
yeah, he the worst
He's the
quarterback in
worst in
the
this
division
division
right
now.
now. Shit. The real fan, Diggs and Michael didn't put Dak. Nope, they sure didn't. They ain't put him in their top 10.
Nope.
Sure didn't.
I mean, imagine that you're now the worst quarterback in your division,
In your division.
and you're the highest paid in your division.
That
can't sit right with Jerry.
Dak doesn't have the mental capacity to read the defense and make the right reads. He stares down receivers like he wants to violate them.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Shit.
Oh.
The real fan, Hurts has made great passes to Devontae Smith. Yep, and in the Super Bowl, he dropped a dime down the middle of the field for a touchdown, bro. Come on. You can't take nothing from Jalen Hurts, man. You got now that's hate. Because you gotta respect that, bro.
Yeah.
You can't be looking at a play like that in the Super Bowl after they took your run game from you, and you step up and throw a dime. That to me that changed the game right there. When Hurts dropped that down to Devontae Smith in the Super Bowl for the touchdown. Come on, man.
Jalen Hurts to me this year proved he's better than Dak.
Yeah.
If you asked me the previous year, I would have said, nah, I'd still pick Dak over Jalen. But Jalen, that Super Bowl said it all. He did what Dak could never do, which was realize the game's on the line. You're the one that's going to decide if we win this game, and he did. So there you go.
Yep. Facts.
Dak ain't the top 5 of the USFL. Damn. I don't know about that.
DC Big Osa. Dak ain't even top 5 QB. Nope. Man, he probably wouldn't even start. Devil Dog. Hey, Dak was the MVP runner-up though. One vote out of 99 versus 1.
What the heck is that? Participation trophy. That's what he got.
Exactly. Corey B. What up? What up?
Yep.
Devil Dog. CD should have listened to his mama.
Oh. And you know what? CD used his mom to say that. I don't believe his mom said out of the zone. I really think that was CD venting the mom. He went home. Shit, he's like, man,
I think his mama said that shit for real.
No, but I think it's one of those things where, as a son, you come home, you're frustrated, you're telling your mom what's going on, and then his mom was like, man, this boy get my son hurt. I can just see that happening because they have that a great relationship, you see how they interact. But
the real fan
that may not be that dude in 2017 when Zeke got suspended for 6 games. Dak played bad during that stretch. Yeah, that's the point.
Did.
That's the point.
Sure fucking did. Yep. I will have set Dak for the season without a new contract unless he can get traded and start Trey Lance. This past season, the opportunity to put Trey Lance in to see what was up, it was this season with those 8 games, and they didn't do that shit. Nah. Drew, when Dak got beaten down by Alabama in college, that showed what Dak was going to be. Yeah,
You
they
know
did
what? That's
something
hard.
more
It's hard to
bold.
judge that. No, it's really hard to judge that because to be fair, and I will be fair, Dak's receivers could not get any separation in college. So the fact that
And
he put
none
up
of
those
them made
numbers,
it to the pros. Did any of Dak receivers make it to the pros
nope,
from college? I don't
nope.
think so.
So
So to be fair, yeah, that's a point.
that's all. To be fair, I'm just saying. To me, this um, hey, I remember some of those names from
The
Sam
dude,
Farm. Oh God. Um.
Dak delusional.
Yep.
Cowboys did start the run versus Packers when they scored 27-0. Packers had 32 yards and 15 carries. They were stopping the run.
Yep. I'm just saying.
It's like you said there. It's like you said. And who I think Real Fan made a comment. He said when they threw that pick, when Dak threw that pick six or the first pick or whatever it was, they was
It's
like,
hard to keep track of those Dak picks.
it just deflated the defense. Just
Deflate the
deflated.
whole team. Forget the defense. Everybody was like, "Oh, here we go again. Here we go. I can't throw." You know, that's what he says every time I see him do that cadence. That's what I hear him saying. Here we go. I can't throw. That's what I hear. I don't hear. Here we go. Let's go. Whatever he's supposed to be saying.
Here we go. I can't throw.
That's what I hear every time he does that.
Oh shit! Devil Dog, do know he got beat down. And, oh yeah, he did get jumped on the beach. That was some crazy shit right there.
Oh, in college, yeah.
Yeah, they got jumped.
Yeah.
Hungry Heifer, what it do? We can all agree Dak will never win a Super Bowl, but why is that the same handles only talk about Dak, man?
It's the frustration because you're looking at a team. Here's the thing. This is I'm gonna be 100% real with everyone on this. If Dak would just do, I'm gonna use this guy again, Rich Gannon level, okay? Because you cannot tell me from a physical tool standpoint that Dak Prescott didn't have more physical ability than Rich Gannon. Okay, that's where to me is the frustration because that just shows a lack of commitment on his part to do what he needs to do, and he's not doing it, and that's the frustration of it. I mean, I love this team. Been watching them for over 30 years. I mean, and it sucks, man. Because when you realize the talent the team has had, I mean, I look at Zach Martin and Tyron Smith and Travis Fredericks and Zeke
Mm-hmm.
and D Law, all these
Yes,
guys,
Jason
and
Witten.
and you just see their careers get wasted. It hurts, man, because it never, the Cowboys weren't that team, man. They were never that team that would put all these pieces together and not not make it happen. And what's holding you back is the quarterback. I mean, it's not because look, if he was, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a quarterback really sucked back in the day. Um, I like this guy's to put it. We can all agree. What? Oh man, missed it.
My bad. I already clicked on that.
Oh,
The real
but
fan.
but that's the thing, man. It's just that Dak is what holds this team back. I mean, I'm telling you, man. You put. I'm almost convinced if you took what's this that quarterback we were just talking about him earlier. He was at the Falcons. Marcus Mariota. I think we get further with him than Dak Prescott. I really do. Yeah, I know we could have done it with Matthew Stafford. I know we could do it with Jared Goff. Oh my God, Lamar Jackson. That would be just absurd. Josh Allen. I mean,
Man,
I'm
with
not
the
even sure.
weapons we had.
I know. I'm
Okay,
just
if you
saying.
think on that aspect, with the weapons we had, yeah,
Mhm.
hell yeah.
I'm just saying. You give us the
Because
team. You
Dak
go back to
waste,
that.
Dak wasted. He
Sorry. You repeat.
go ahead,
No. Go repeat. I didn't hear you. You said.
go ahead. No, I'm saying go ahead. You
Oh,
finish your
no. I'm
statement.
saying that he wasted. Like I said, that team we had when we had Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Gallup. That team in particular. I'm telling you, you take Not even the top 10 quarterbacks, okay, that are out there. I'm not talking about Mahomes, Josh Allen. I mean, I'm convinced you take a Marcus Mariota, you take a shoot, I'm trying to think of some quarterbacks right now. Yeah, I'll put golf in that. Golf is not really that great. I mean, you mess with the thermostat and golf all of a sudden has an issue. Um, it gets too cold, the wind blows the wrong way, golf has issues. You
Shit,
could
put
take
Matthew Stafford on them teams. We would have a Super
exactly.
Bowl. We would have two
I
Super
mean,
Bowls.
Tony Romo would have won. I mean, I think that rookie year of where Dak took over, if Romo had stayed healthy, I think we could have would have done something. But you know, it doesn't. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because that's not a here or there. Um, yeah, Dak overthrew Tavon Austin. Yeah, I remember that. But I'm
Man,
just
he was
saying,
wild. Oh man.
God. Um, I mean, damn. I mean, I honestly think you, like I said, Marcus Mariota, Zach Wilson. I mean, Justin Fields, I think would have had a better shot than Dak Prescott. Um, and Justin Fields has not really put it all together, but you can't even say it's a lack of trying. That's just
Nope.
stubborn. That just shows a stubbornness in the wrong areas, man. And I think that's what just drives me up the wall.
Man, that guy has had a lot of weapons, man. I don't understand why people don't. They keep saying that he didn't have a good team around him. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be straight up. 2016, he had a team. 2017, he had the team too. The Z got suspended. Other than that, he had a team in 2017. And if he was that good for someone for 2016, he's supposed to do a little bit better even without Z.
Yep.
Right?
I mean, Zeke was out for what,
2018.
6 games? It was just 6 games.
Yeah, he
It's
got
not
suspended
even.
6 games. That's
That's
it.
nothing. You should be able to more than compensate for that. Because what happens if a player
Right.
gets hurt? But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Right. Everything got to be perfect. You can't handle injuries with that playing quarterback.
No.
2018, I can honestly say the receivers went, but then when he got Amari Cooper, which they say made Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott made
Whatever.
Amari Cooper in 2018.
No. No.
But he was on a previous two-time Pro Bowler before he got there. But then he even in 2018 he had a squad. So we can go to 2019. He had a squad 2019. Even during the pandemic, you look at the offense. Look at 2020, even during the pandemic, that offense.
Yep.
That offense was stacked.
Yep.
2021, stacked.
Yep.
2022, stacked.
Stacked.
Even in 2023.
Stacked. Yep.
Come on, man. Dak's whole career, he's pretty much had a stacked team, more weapons than pretty much damn near almost every quarterback in the league, man. I'm sorry, man. Dak has had a stacked team his whole career, bro.
He's had better teams than Joe Burrow. He's had better teams than Matthew Stafford. He's had better teams.
Josh Allen,
Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. I would say that.
Yep, Patrick Mahomes.
Because I remember that one Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes. You can't tell me anyone knows the receiver's name other than Tyreek Hill.
That was just one Super Bowl.
I know, and he won. And the year after that without Tyreek Hill. Exactly. So, can you name the defensive player other than Chris Jones? I can't.
Nope, just Chris Jones.
So, I mean, I think Alex Smith would have won with that with this team. Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the bottom line is what you got.
I'm gonna read this. If I was 49ers, I would have drafted Shedeur Sanders to replace Brock Purdy and let Brett walk. That's what you just said, yo. Sit him and let's trade it after this coming season. I don't know why they turned down this initial contract from the Niners, man. I don't know what was over his agent
and that's the thing. A lot of these franchises as a whole have to start thinking about with these quarterbacks as a whole. Because I mean, I thought it was odd when Lamar Jackson, remember his contract was up, and then no team would trade for him. I mean, you can't tell me that wasn't. You can't tell me that wasn't collusion. But at the end of the day, they still paid Lamar what he was asking. When you could make the argument at the time, and time has proven it to be wrong. But at that point in time, you could say, well, Lamar isn't really a good quarterback, just a passing. Then they got him receivers, Zay Flowers, and then obviously that conversation has changed. But what's his name?
Yeah. The
But
dude,
yeah, I
49ers
like that.
were, it was his dark horse pick too. If nothing else, it would have been GM Lynch and head coach Shanahan sending the shot. Yep. Everybody kind of on that right there.
I mean, I
Yeah.
was like I said, that was the team that you think okay, because listen, I hate the Eagles. All right, I hate the Eagles. But you saw what they did with Carson Wentz. I mean, they paid him the money, and they like realized, oh wait a minute, we screwed up, and they got
Mm-hmm.
rid of him quick.
Quick.
And
Yep.
guess another team that did that, the Colts. Remember, they brought Carson Wentz in, paid him a lot of money, and they're like, "Oh no!" Even drunk Ursay had enough sense. Crazy Ursay had enough sense to say, "You know what? I
Oh,
backed
this
the
ain't
wrong
gonna work.
horse." But not the Cowboys, not Craterface, not
Okay,
Jerry.
so Hungry Heifer. Shadura definitely got squeezed. Very strange. Cleveland drafts him in the fifth round. Yeah, that
It's
was
gonna
I
be
don't
a
know
good
what was going on
story.
with that.
It's going to be a good story because watch, all of a sudden he's going to become their number one quarterback in the middle of the season, turn it all around. Great
Yep.
soap opera story.
Yep. The dude, San Francisco picked QB Rook from University of Indiana. Oh
Oh,
yeah?
he sucks.
So I didn't even know they picked a quarterback.
Yeah, that guy sucks. But then again, maybe
I didn't even
Shanahan
know they
turns him
picked
into
a
a diamond. Who
quarterback.
knows? Howie Roseman
Mr.
still has those
37,
plans.
salute. Howie Roseman still has a plan. Magic Johnson and Adam Peters have a plan. Jerry has no plan. It
Jerry has
seemed
a
like they
plan.
was when they was drafted.
Jerry has a plan. It's
I
called
guess
it's called raising those
offensive line
ticket
and running the
prices.
ball.
He's gonna raise those ticket
Yeah,
prices.
yeah, because Dak sell a lot of jerseys though.
Yep.
Yeah, he sells a lot of jerseys, bro. He got a lot of fans. Danny Savage draft guru. What's up, Danny? C
Dude,
plus.
see.
Yeah, I'm at a C. Yeah, man. Yeah, I feel
All
you on
right.
that. You still at a B, huh? You still at a B, B plus?
You know what what hurts is the fact it's not that the picks are bad, it's just it's the position when they drafted them, you know what I mean? If it
Yeah,
was a little
that's what.
lower,
Yeah,
it's not that the
yeah.
players themselves are bad picks, it's just too high for where they got picked, and that's what brings the grade. I can't give it a C because they're not bad players, it's just they're drafted too high.
Danny Savage, Booker, no way was BPA. Just look at the guards drafted in round two. That's what I wasn't. I didn't see. I didn't know. I didn't expect them to actually draft O lineman with the first draft. I didn't expect
Oh,
that.
I did. Oh, I did because the Cowboys. That's their
Damn.
default thing. When they don't know what to pick, go O line. That's how I always
I
feel the
knew it was
Cowboys.
a need, and I wanted trenches, but I was looking at D tackle. So for
They don't
them,
respect
just
that.
I mean, but then don't come behind that O line pick with D tackle. That was kind of disturbing for me, man.
Because they don't historically speaking, the Cowboys don't value two positions: defensive tackle and safety. They don't
And
value
it's
them really.
obvious. Well, safety, I was thinking, you're right. Them
No, I'm,
two
I'm not saying
positions.
they need to draft. I'm not saying they need to draft a safety this year. I mean, probably could do that, but the
Yeah,
point is they don't respect those
they don't
positions for
value it.
whatever.
Yeah,
Question for
the
you
real
both.
fan.
If Dak was an Eagles quarterback in 2017, 2020, do you think they would have won a Super Bowl? Huh.
Nope, nope,
This team, the
nope.
2020, hold on, I'll answer. 2017, I'd say no. The 2024, I don't know. And I say that because of Saquon Barkley and how, because you got to realize that Jalen Hurts for majority of the season didn't have to throw much. Now, my question is for Dak, would for some miracle when he pulled it off in the Super Bowl because then he didn't have to throw all year. Because knowing my crappy luck, Dak would pull that off just to piss me off. But
Man, Dak had Zeke. He had that, bro, and he didn't do it when he had it, man. He wouldn't have did it with the 2017 Eagles or the 2024. Zach Martin already said it. He said we had those teams.
I'm not
He
saying that.
was pissed. He was
The
pissed. His main thing was that he was pissed because he felt like we had those teams and even better than the Eagles.
Well, yeah, 2017. We beat the 2017 Eagles in the regular season.
So that's why I'm saying Dak Prescott wouldn't have led those teams because he had those teams with the Cowboys and he didn't do it. So how will he lead the Eagles? He's had the same similar teams.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying 2017. I agree. No, he ain't doing it. 2024. I mean, I don't know that team. The way it played out, like it played out the same way that it played out for them this year with Dak. I have to question it. But
okay,
I still like.
I get you about questioning it.
Yeah, I got You know what I'm saying? It's not like I just think he would find a way to lose in the Super Bowl. I think he would have gotten to the Super Bowl, but he would have found a way to lose because he's Dak Prescott. It's in his DNA. So, and Patrick Mahomes, you're like, oh, it's Dak, thank God. So,
man, you know what? I'm at the point there where I don't think he would have did. I just don't believe in him, man. I just don't see it. He's giving me too much evidence.
You're right.
Much evidence to go. If I was in the courtroom and he showed me that, you guilty, bro. This evidence is too much. This a mountain of evidence to prove to me that he's not going to do it. You can give him fucking Megatron, Chad Johnson, T.O. You can give him 1, 2, 3 XYZ receiver position.
Oh, man.
With Roger Craig and Tony Dorsett, and he still wouldn't do it. I'm telling you, man. He would still find a way to shit himself and fuck it up.
So you tell me you give him Sterling Sharp, Randy Moss, and Jerry Rice, he still find a way to screw it up.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Hell yeah. I don't care, man. That's what I see from him. I'm sorry. Because I guess I got a higher expectation from what I feel how important that position is a quarterback and being the leader. Well, because I feel like it's the same as being a pitcher, and I took on that responsibility as a leader and knowing what it took. My team depended on me, bro, and I had to perform at a high level every time. It wasn't no excuse. You couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So to me, playing the quarterback position at that high level in the NFL for one of the, I mean, come on, man. You got to have it or you don't. And to me, he don't have it, man. He just
you're talking about that killer. You're talking about that killer instinct, and he don't have it. I know what you're talking about because you know what? All athletes know what you're talking about, which is that instinct of okay, this is it. This is what all the lifting the weights, training, all that was about. And
all that.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, when I played basketball, track, whatever, you know that there's always that one event that has that one game where you're like, this is what it was all about. This is the fun part. It's not fun playing against teams, garbage teams like and padding your stats. You don't care about that. Yeah. When you get to play against the best of the best, then all of a sudden it's like, now it's interesting. Now it's fun.
Yeah.
And
now it's fun.
Now you get that back and forth going on. I mean, yeah, you've seen it. Like you could go with basketball. You got Gary Payton when he was playing against Michael Jordan. They call him the glove and all that. I remember the game elevated to a whole new level. And and Dak doesn't do that. He doesn't elevate. He just the same thing day in, day out. White bread.
The dude, I think pre-injuries, Dak had more athletic ability than Gannon. His trouble has always been his accuracy and not a truly strong arm. Even his Mississippi State coach Mullen questioned his accuracy for the NFL.
Well, dude. Well, okay, but the dude's right because I mean, I said it. I think Dak Prescott from an athletic standpoint, was more athletic than Gannon, but
Yeah.
Gannon developed the cerebral part of the game, and that's why I mean that's the part that Dak to me has failed to show or failed to show. He's never going to do. Let me rephrase that. He failed to address that part of his game. I don't know if it's a matter of maybe he's not mentally capable. I mean, I don't know, or is it just he just doesn't try? I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, he's not developed that part of his game. And Rich
No, man.
Gannon, you go back and look at Rich Gannon, you can't tell me he had a great arm. His arm sucked, but he found. I mean, look at his receivers were Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, but he figured out how to get the balls to them. I mean,
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah. Got a Super Bowl too. Dallas playing 1997. Dak is Ryan Tannehill 2.0, and we're paying him like he's Mahomes.
Whoa! You pay some more respect to Tannehill. Tannehill's a better quarterback, man. You apologize to Ryan.
But you know what's crazy about Tannehill? He was a former wide receiver turned quarterback.
Yeah, I know, right? People forget
And
that.
he played a position better than
Man.
This dude was a former wide receiver turned quarterback. Wow. The real fan, 2022 could have gotten Eagles in the NFC Championship game had he played a little better against the 49ers.
Man, don't get me started with that Niners game. You know what ticked me off? Was it the first Niner game? I can't remember which one it was, but I saw a series where, and I bust Mike McCarthy for this, right? And there's a lot. That's right. It's the last year Amari Cooper played in that playoff game. I saw Mike McCarthy took the sheet from Kellen Moore, and there was that drive. I'm like, oh my god, this drive's looking great. And then I saw Mike gave it to Kellen Moore back. I'm like, what are you doing? I wanted to grab Mike by the throat, like, what the hell are you doing? And the game went south after that. It just went boom. And I'm like, why would you do that? Because my biggest problem with Kellen Moore is he loves curl routes. Now, if anyone plays receiver, I don't know about you. I hate to have my back to anybody. All right. That's just me.
Right.
Okay. And he does that. And the Niners know all the, because you saw how the Niners played that game. They knew to back up a little bit, and they would come up and then deck the receivers. That's what they did.
Yep.
And I'm like, but when McCarthy had the play sheet, he was doing the slants, posts, skinny posts, and he was tearing up the middle. Because the funny part was in that game, the part of the game that the Niners are usually good at, they were not doing a good job because they were playing the outside of the middle of the field. The middle of the field, they attacked the middle of the field, which is easier for the quarterback, Dak. Oh my God, they could have won that game the way it was going. Because what shocked me was when seeing that Tyler Warren was beating Nick Bosa. I mean, I don't forget that. I was like, that was unheard of. And well, the rest is history. So,
Devil Dog. The highest paid is usually your best player and team leader. He's neither and never will. Bush League.
And that's why I was trying to tell Junkie. Junkie's like, man, it's next man up. It doesn't work that way. Dude, every company pays the best employee, whatever. He's like, no, that's not how it works. This is what the position pays. I'm like, where do you work at? Because I don't know any company like that. The hell are you talking about?
Nope.
If you can find someone that does your job better than you, they hire him and they cut your ass.
Yeah, and the jobs I've worked, it's about your performance when you get a raise, especially if you get one before any other person do. As far as your annual raise, if you performing, your boss or whatever, hey, can I talk to you, Mr. Brooks? Or they see your work and they gonna put you up that they feel above anybody else. So you have your market. You come in at your position. This is what you starting. Say you have this particular job. You come in. It's starting at 45 or 65, whatever. Yep. You negotiate that contract there from how you feel, or from your resume with the work you've done, and how you can qualify for the position. You negotiate. Nope. Say if it's 65, you negotiate, try to get that. They might give you 62, whatever. You go. But then as you go on and your performance, they be like, well, hey, come to the table. Bam, bam, you doing this. I see you outperforming this employee, that employee. We're gonna make you manager. That's how you. How do you get a raise on your job and you underperform? How do you underperform on your
I
job and
haven't
still
met
get
that
a
job
raise?
yet. I haven't met that job yet. I'm still looking for it, but and I like what Delusional was saying. He says Dak
Yeah.
Prescott needs an All-Pro offensive line. That has to be number one in the league, and a number two receiver. Not, yeah, 2,000 years.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
I mean,
I'm gonna bring him up. I think let me see if I can get
yeah,
him up.
yeah. Delusional's
Yeah,
right, man. Because
Get
Dak
up, I'm here.
Delusion.
Can you hear me?
All right.
Sensei, how are you doing, sir?
All
What's
right.
up?
I had to chime in when you said one thing about Dirk. You said about Kellen Moore curl routes. Kellen Moore caught a lot of curl routes because Dak really only can hit receivers sitting still. He can't hit
You're
moving
right.
targets.
You're right. Hey, I'm not saying negative. I'm just saying that when you're
Oh
playing that
shit.
defense, no, he right. I'm just saying, but you look at that defense. The way to beat that defense was to do what? Slants and skinny posts and all that. But Delusional, you're right as always, sir. Dak's
Because
best throw was curl routes and
because
hitches.
even McCarthy started calling a bunch of curl routes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm having nightmares about that.
So basically, and I kind of thought that Mike McCarthy only called the plays that he felt like Dak Prescott could execute.
Did you ever see how you fold? Did you ever saw how you folded the play sheet? Do you ever notice as the game went on? Usually the sheet gets bigger for most teams. When McCarthy's, the sheet kind of kept folding in half.
Oh shit!
I mean, I watch these things. People are like, you crazy. I'm like, go watch the game, and all of a sudden you see him scratch. Oh, that's gone. Well, it's like a restaurant. X that out. That we don't have it. We're out of fish. We're out of this because Dak ain't hitting those at all. Oh
Do
man.
anybody remember Scott Linehan was at a bar or something, and they said they talked about his play calling. Do he have plays? He said, "I got a lot of plays, but I don't have the quarterback to run them."
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
I don't
And I
remember
looked at it
hearing
on
that,
the
but
internet now.
shit.
And he
It's
lost
like
his
they
job
buried
over
it.
that. He lost.
That's
That's
why
how
he
he
got
lost his job.
fired.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Because they were saying his play, what they were saying about his playbook or something. He's like, no, I got a lot of plays.
They said
I
his
don't have
plays
the
were too
quarterback that can
vanilla.
run my plays.
Because people forget he had Dante Culpepper. He had Matthew Stafford, and he comes to Dallas, right? He had Tony Romo. Remember Tony Romo? That playbook was pretty fat. Then all of a sudden, Dak Prescott comes in. That playbook got down to one page instead of 50 pages or whatever pages that Linehan had.
Scott Leonard had, if you look at every quarterback he had, like by their second season or something, and a receiver, they had the most yards of any other team. He had Dante Culpepper and whoever, most
Matthew
passing
Stafford.
yards.
Matthew
He had
Stafford. That's it.
he had
Megatron.
yes.
Yep. Megatron had almost 2,000 yards with him, if I'm not mistaken.
Eamon
Receiving.
Romo and Dez was top, but he get that. No tops no more.
Nope. Drew 912. The problem is Dak cannot raise to the occasion when necessary. My bad, can rise to the occasion when necessary, and he hinders the team getting players because of his contract. And Jerry refuses to get that competition. Man, all of that. That's
all that. Yeah.
all of that.
It's
What?
poor ownership, poor business management, and not understanding what your team is. And like Delusion and I were telling some other people that, a couple weeks ago,
Kid
you need that
Cowboy, what up?
you need that Ravens defense, and Dak needs to throw the ball 5 yards 5 times a game. We have a shot. So,
Do y'all think Jerry was going to draft Shador because 49ers traded down before he got on the board?
oh, really? I didn't think of that. Would
I
Jerry have
didn't think
drafted?
so, man, because we
Nah,
had
nah,
plenty of
not with Joe
opportunities.
Milton. Not with Joe Milton. No. If Joe Milton, if they didn't trade for Joe Milton, I'd say yeah.
I kind of think that was a smokescreen to get Joe Milton to have an excuse not to draft Shador. That's what I think. Or
Well,
any
no,
other
because
quarterback
but
really to give that competition. To me,
no,
I think they got Joe Milton to say, okay, this is the competition. We got Will Greer again, and we got Joe Milton. We done. We ain't drafting no quarterback. So yeah,
I think Shador. The only way he would have drafted Shador if he felt he could have got Dion, and and I think Dion basically told Jerry, "Nah, ain't happening." And Joe Milton, I mean, Jerry, he's just like Al Davis, he likes a strong arm. And then we gotta all have to be honest. That Patriot game against the Bills, we saw a side of Milton's game that he has not shown when he was in college. And it was a huge improvement. And it just to me looked like what they thought Trey Lance was going to do, and he didn't. And he failed to deliver on. So,
Well,
strongest arm in the league, sell that. Go ahead.
Joe Milton read the defense just as good as Dak right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're absolutely correct. No, seriously, you watch if you go watch the 22 tape of that game against the Bills. I mean, I was like, "Who's this guy?" It was not the same kid I saw in Tennessee. I mean, it was a totally different. I mean, man, look. Anyway, it don't matter. Yeah, I'm just getting.
And the thing is, people say they finally saw Dak was bad after 2017 and 18. 2016, go back and look at those Giants games when they stopped Zeke.
Yeah.
Dak was bad then.
Dude, the Viking game is what's exposed the most. The Viking game, remember the Viking game when they first finally lost?
We lose like what? We lost to it was close games because Dak couldn't even score. He couldn't score no points against the Giants.
I think the Vikings game was the worst, man. Our offense, they stopped the run and everything, and we lost. I think we lost was it 21 or 3 or something like that against the Vikings his rookie year. But regardless of that, I mean, look, the bottom line is this: when he plays against real competition, it's over. That's it. I mean, after the first quarter, I mean, Delusional. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can tell from the first quarter if we're going to win the game. Is that fair to say or no?
Yes, with that, yeah, because you can see he don't got it. And
I mean,
it's
crazy.
Not getting a bunch of stops and giving him the ball right back and keep giving the ball back. Game over. He's not gonna go blow for blow with no good quarterback.
I mean, and here's the thing: when you look at every quarterback we grew up watching with the Cowboys, I can't name a quarterback that we went into a game and I knew how the game was going to go right off the bat. I mean, seriously, even with Chad Hutchinson, I felt I felt like, I mean, he's too predictable, Dak, man. I've never seen that in any sport I've been a part of where, I know after a quarter how the game's going to go. I mean, yes, you got games where you get totally blown out. Don't get me wrong. It's 28-0. But I'm just talking about no scores yet. Everyone's trying to hustling, trying to feel it out. And you could tell right away, oh, you know what? This is over. I mean, the Packer game in the playoffs, I didn't finish watching the game. I'll be honest with you. I knew after the third series, the game was over.
Yeah, I was done by I was a little longer. Third quarter, I was like,
Oh, you made it to the second half. Damn.
Yeah, I made it to the second half. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, yeah, I was like, man, this is enough. I can't take this no more. This shit is brutal.
I knew it was over when he threw that pass to CD and CD looked at him like, man, for real.
Exactly right. You know it's bad when a receiver gives you that look. It's like, are you serious? Are you serious? I mean, damn.
Does Dak have a DD tape on Jerry?
Oh, I wish. I wish there was a Diddy tape on Dak. He could get arrested and be done with this shit. I'm sorry, I don't wish that on nobody, honestly. But damn, I'm so fed up. I'll take a Diddy tape on this one.
Oh man. On that note, man, I appreciate you, Derek, man, for coming through, man. I'm gonna have to end it tonight, man. It's Sunday, but I appreciate y'all in the chat for coming through. Kid Cowboy, DC Big Osa, Dak Delusional Fan, Drew 912. Y'all know, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, Derek, man, for chiming in, man. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
I'm going, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate it. And honored to talk to you again, Delusional.